Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Treasure Hunting for All. I have a God-level synthesis system. Chapter 61. In the operating room, except for the Elephant World GU, the rest of the people were brought into the belly of the mountain and sea giant elephant, living in a multi-story city. The male workers and female workers have become accustomed to it. The last time they entered Shinwayu Valley, they just felt various vibrations, as if facing an earthquake at home, but the walls around them were unbreakable and there was almost no danger to their lives. After returning, Lin Yu gave everyone a bonus of 5 gold coins. Let the workers cheer for a bit. The workers from these poor neighborhoods rarely see such generous lords. Most of the lords exploit and save money. In order to keep the territory running for a long time, they don't put too much pressure on themselves and make the workers miserable. Before coming here, I thought Lin Yu, a young man, would be more exploitative, but I didn't expect this lord to be much better. After a while, they appeared on the ground. Lin Yu is still dressed like that. There is no mechanical GU attached to his body, but his physical fitness is not ordinary. When he steps on the ground, he feels that there will be a steady stream of power coming up. Lin Yu, I must protect you. Bai Shui's voice was reverberating, because she was fully armed and wrapped in a machine. The white and pink mecha was almost close to Bai Shui's body, outlining a beautiful and moving arc. It looks very predictable. The helmet has a communicator circuit, a V-shaped eye patch in front of it, and 2 pink tooth-like lines on the face, which are similar to Yu Yaoyao's void lines. But hers was intentionally painted on by the mech, and Yu Yaoyao's was already contaminated with void power. Lin Yu was burned a little when he tried to touch it last time. You protect me. The expression on Lin Yu's face was still very indifferent. That's unnecessary. Your task is to protect the coolies and carry the spoils. What's so important about spoils? You can't make tens of millions along this line. Your life is what matters. Lin Yu, we haven't even signed the contract yet. Hateful, how rich this man is. My troops came to support your territory, and you told me that you want me to protect the spoils. Am I a scrubber? After Lin Yu said this, the person had already flashed out, and Linglong also went out at the same time. The two were like twins, both of them were covered with lightning, disappeared in one step, and reappeared in the next moment. This is the physical manifestation of Linglong's shared ability, allowing Lin Yu to gain a power that is close to that of thunder and lightning for a short time. It's just that he doesn't share much power, so Linglong is still at the forefront. However, after the Elephant Realm GU was upgraded to rank 6, the shared ability reached 15%. And with the strengthening of the little elephant's own abilities, Lin Yu's vitality and strength have become even greater. So he is no longer an ordinary treasure lord, and his skills have improved 100 times compared to when he was in the academy. After flashing and moving, Lin Yu has gone away. Soon, a wave of ghouls appeared in Lin Yu's field of vision, and the communicator directly turned on the public screen, and he reported his coordinates. Let's start hunting. Collect all these trophies in the backpack space of the communicator, and divide them after returning to the territory. Be quick, hunt and kill as many ghouls as possible before the Ghoul Tide Lords come here, so that you can make a fortune. Everyone, the opportunity to make a fortune has come. Lin Yu's calm and indifferent words made the entire communicator excited. Good lord, I really convinced you. I was almost scared by this tide of ghouls. Really, I've never seen so many ghouls. I'm sorry, this year's ghoul tide is too huge. Report the coordinates at any time. Wang Dong also joined in. I won't charge and hunt with you. I feel that something interesting is coming out. You go. It's too much, Team King. Ha ha ha. Who of you dared to pull the trigger on Team Wang's eagle attack just now? Bang bang bang. A series of gunshots sounded, and Lin Yu ran, seeing ghouls and slow-moving walking ghouls. Then there is the Ratman ghoul of the 3rd rank. Ratman ghouls have long-range poisonous arrows in their hands, and they are relatively difficult guys to deal with. But his speed was obviously faster, rushing into the group of ghouls like a bolt of lightning, and then the Bone King's revolver exploded the exploding Red Lotus, engulfing a row of ghouls nearby. From time to time, the standard pistol in his left hand made additional strikes, and quickly wiped out dozens of ghouls and walking flesh in front of him. Then, like a tiger, he pounced on the Rat Man in the distance. Lin Yu's bullets and Linglong's bullets both have chain lightning, and the additional lightning damage will turn this area into a sea of thunder and electric snakes, forming a huge sea of lightning and enveloping the Ratman. Then there were successive screams, and they were blown to pieces in the thunder and lightning. Adertisement. Linglong flashed 3 times, and her slender and tall body crackled, turning into lightning and appearing among 30 or 40 Ratmen. Then he waved a flame with his left hand, and the beam of light spread out instantly with her as the center. It is just formed and still absorbing spiritual power. But when there are more GU spirits, they will bite each other without any spiritual barrier, and these GU spirits are indeed biting. Lin Yu suddenly didn't want to care about the gnawing between the GU spirits. What if a high-level GU can be gnawed out? Raising GU and raising GU, isn't the wild GU just to bite and devour each other, and after absorbing it, the strongest one is the GU king? He raised the corner of his mouth, and said to Linglong, wrap them in a space with flame waves, and look at them later. Obey. Wow! A wave of flames swept away, and within 100 meters, all the GU spirits were wrapped up, unable to get out, cutting off the escape route, so the blood-red GU spirits formed by these ghouls, and the miserable blue GU spirits formed by walking flesh, the spirits began to eat and devour each other. Lin Yu ran towards the next place. Soon, under the exquisite cooperation of Lin Yu and Linglong, flame wave and thunder engulfed a large area of land, completely turning it into a sea of flames filled with thunder and lightning. Lin Yu, on the other hand, is like a king walking in these seas of flames, with both pistols spitting out flames, and each shot will be endowed with a wonderful additional power by the Bone King's revolver, some of which are instant strikes. Some are 6 laser beams, some are corrosive toxins. Many additional effects are powerful enough to surpass Lin Yu's own spiritual power, and his spiritual power is constantly being consumed. Finally, the last wave of ghouls passed, and the small ghouls of the second and first ranks were basically killed by Lin Yu. At this time, I have to talk about the benefits of Linglong. This combat GU is valued by Lin Yu, and it is cultivated as a core GU. It has been reluctant to synthesize it, and it is only repaired and maintained occasionally, so now it can explode the best combat power. Report the number. How about the casualties? Team 2, 1 seriously injured, needs to return to the territory quickly. 3 teams, 2 seriously injured and 1 slightly injured. 4 teams, 2 seriously injured and 1 slightly injured. After a series of reports, no one was killed, but serious injuries are also a troublesome thing on. It seems that all the medicines and supplies of everyone have been exhausted. Panting heavily, Lin Yu stepped on the head of a ghoul king on a hill of corpses and looked down at the sea of fire and electric snakes around him, his face full of indifference. The blood had already covered his whole body, which made him somewhat agitated, inexplicably agitated, as if the more he killed, the more he could arouse some kind of bloodthirsty in his heart. Call. Lin Yu took a deep breath to calm down his throbbing heartbeat. Another communicator was connected to the public screen. Bai Shui, report the location and report the casualties. Bai Shui's weary voice came quickly. 3 people died and 1 was slightly injured. Lin Yu. Who was slightly injured? Bai Shui. I. Lin Yu. Congratulations, you are amazing. Return to the territory. Little Elephant, start to attract. After exiting the combat state, the Elephant Realm GU can open the spherical enchantment shield, and then transfer the creatures in the territory in a space without such large fluctuations. Of course, a lot of spiritual power is required. But the spiritual power of the Elephant Master GU is indeed as majestic as mountains and seas, and it can fully support the transmission of dozens of people. But at this moment, when everyone was physically exhausted, a roar suddenly came from far away in the sky. A huge snake came out of the valley, bursting out with golden brilliance. This snake was at least 500 meters long, winding like a mountain road. In addition to the hiss of the snake, there was even a trace of dragon in the roaring sound. Moaning feeling. Immediately, everyone can turn their heads to see. Shocked. Golden mandala. The corner of Lin Yu's mouth twitched, and Bai Shui quickly said in the address book, all retreat, natural GU spirits, extremely rare, all retreat to the territory. It is extremely cunning, and it chose this time to appear in order to catch us all. Golden Mandala, rank 5 GU, has a physical body, but its own power is very powerful. It is transformed from the corpse of a giant falcon in the desert. It contains natural laws and can be transformed into wind and sand to form. Belongs to. It is a type of natural disaster. Lin Yu has heard of this a little bit, and has already seen this theory in various classics. This world is almost transformed by various auras and laws above the corpse. Not only the topography, the sky, the earth. Even many natural phenomena are transformed by corpses. Sandstorms, earthquakes, tidal waves, hail, even aurora, rainbow and so on. They are all inseparable from the corpse of the giant beast. The golden mandala is a snake, but it has the ability to turn into sand, so it is very difficult to deal with, especially now that everyone is tired. Hiss. The body of the golden mandala began to exude golden dots like gypsophilia, splashing on the sky and falling down, and the sound it made was obviously very hostile to Lin Yu and others, so be prepared to chase after it reluctant. Come on, let's go. There's no time, the wind is sucking. Under the shouts of countless people, the strong wind began to blow, and the surrounding trees and dust were overwhelmed in the direction of the golden mandala. A violent and frenzied wind blew, and the strength of the wind gradually strengthened, and the aura in the air slowly secreted sand, which attached to the person's body. As for the vault hunters who retreated slowly, grit had slowly appeared on their skin, and the moisture was constantly being sucked away. If this continues, no one will be able to run away, only to wait for the mountain and sea giant elephant to come forward to rescue. However, a 500-meter golden mandala can explode with such power. What? The golden mandala opened its bloody mouth wide, and inside the scarlet mouth was a huge vortex, and then the strong wind sucked back, trying to swallow everything in the mouth and melt it into sand. Cracking. At this moment, when the wind and sand were sweeping, from the top of a tree in a forest, there was a cry of an eagle, high-pitched, resonant, sharp as a knife, and straight into the sky. Whoosh! Like the wind thorns gathered in the mountains and seas, it spins and elongates a tail of spiritual energy and shoots towards the golden mandala, directly bombing it in its mouth, and then the aftermath of the explosion swayed about 7 or 8 meters into the destruction explosion area. Wang Dong's eagle attack. Lin Yu's turning speed stagnated a bit. No wonder he didn't see Wang Dong the whole time. This kid has been ambushing the leader-level ghoul. Boom! The raging flames were burning, and there was liquid in the eagle strike bullet, which was an explosive liquid bomb, preventing the mouth of the golden mandala from being sanded. He could only keep his body burning, and then twisted his body crazily. Such a big guy, at least a ghoul transformed from a 5-kilometer-long corpse. If you dig around here, there must be corpses, and you can also have good things. Puff. In the end, the golden mandala didn't dare to continue fighting with Lin Yu's troops, so it burrowed directly into the soil, and a huge hole was suddenly deserted in the ground, and then its whole body seemed to have slipped into the sand, and then there is no more movement. Lin Yu waited for a while, and the elephant realm Gu pushed the huge body of the giant mountain and sea elephant forward for a short distance, just enough to pull Lin Yu closer and let him enter the range of the territory. Then he was the first to teleport him back to the console. This time, the harvest was quite fruitful. He got a lot of loot, but in fact, Lin Yu has no intention of retreating. This land, especially the place where the golden mandala dissipates, must be dug deeply, because it is very likely that the mandala will be killed. After that, you can get a natural Gu spirit. No matter what kind of natural ability, being able to naturalize one's body is a very strong means of life preservation. And this kind of Gu spirit, even if it's just a rank 1 Gu, is also expensive. Extremely rare. Lin Yu. At this time, Lin Yu's communicator rang. It was a private communication from Yao Yao. My lighthouse has responded, and there are monsters coming in the void. You have to be careful not to be seen by Bai Shui. Lin Yu's eyes froze, and he teleported himself again, but this time, he teleported to the cave of the left eye of the mountain sea giant elephant. The cave is very deep, and it will go deep into the brain of the mountain and sea giant elephant. Inside the brain is a huge stone cave with ventilation on both sides, and a hole is opened on the top of the head to let in sunlight and moonlight. In addition, many deep vines and moss grew in the depths of the cave, and the remaining brains of the mountain and sea giant elephants turned into clear springs full of spiritual power, forming a mountain stream in the cave, so it just happened to allow the crocodiles to survive. At this moment, Lin Yu and Yu Yao Yao moved here together, and of course the crocodile will eat the void. This crocodile has become stronger and stronger. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Sensing Lin Yu's breath, the crocodile crawled out from the deep river stream, calling out affectionately. Lin Yu called it, empty devourer, a ghoul that devours the void. And it seems that he has been treating himself as the only relative, but at present, there is no contract between the ghoul and the human race in the whole world, so it is impossible to establish a contract. Lin Yu doesn't know how long this kind of favorability, relationship, etc. can last. Void devourer, there will be a batch of void coming soon. If you eat them all, I will give you a reward, okay? Lin Yu is going to give it a try. Now that we have reached this point, it is certainly worth trying to establish some contracts with the void devourer. A few minutes later, a blue-purple vortex suddenly appeared in the sky above Yu Yaoyao's head, and a bottomless black hole slowly emerged. From the vortex, one after another roared, and there were countless figures. Lin Yu, get ready, I think there will definitely be quite a few guys coming this time. Lin Yu drank a bottle of potion to replenish spiritual power, and then summoned Linglong to come, and the Elephant Realm Gu released the elephant power. Besides, in a place that Lin Yu doesn't know, the snow lotus flower located in the cave in the lungs of the giant elephant is sending out pounding ripples. Baiguang Liani seemed to have sensed some natural enemies, and was so excited that he almost rushed out of the cave, staggering and looking around. A moment later, a huge figure descended. Void monsters, here they come again. Crack. A monster with purple light streaks all over its body crawled out of the vortex, but just as it showed its head, it was immediately shot by Lin Yu's Bone King's revolver, and then the Void Eater came up with a mouthful and sucked it directly into the mouth. The exquisite electric snake turned into a ball of lightning and rushed towards the vortex, crackling, causing waves of waves when it hit it. A lot of void creatures. Lin Yu couldn't help laughing. These void creatures are neither at the level of lords nor at the level of warriors. Most of them are small creatures, but they contain void waves on their bodies, so their defenses are very strong. Fighting and hitting, Yu Yaoyao also discovered that the crocodiles were almost one bite at a time. The current void swallower has grown to a length of 30 meters and a height of about 4 meters. The explosive force of its mouth can reach more than 10 tons. If it bites with its own spiritual power, it will be even more invincible. Moreover, there is only a kind of mucus on its body, which can cause more damage to void creatures and destroy their void carapaces when it sticks to its teeth. Those amethyst-like shells will immediately dissolve when they touch the mucus. So for the void swallowers, the shells of these void creatures are like crispy rice, which can be eaten into the flesh as soon as they bite. Okay, let's not be so nervous. Lin Yu let out a long sigh of relief, and then asked Yu Yaoyao to stay here. Call him again if there is anything to do. He has to go back to the operating room to deal with it. Swish. The scenery in front of him changed, and Shangji Yu took Lin Yu back to the operating room. A battle is over, the land in the distance is devastated, and on the current scanning interface, there are only a few scattered ghouls. When Lin Yu came back, the large operating room was already full of people, and many of them were moaning softly, either because of fatigue or pain. In short, they couldn't fight for the time being. Fortunately, the golden mandala has already escaped into the ground and dare not reappear. There will be no more attacks in a short time. The tide of ghouls is over. It's all over. Take a short break for 3 days. During these 3 days I will sell all your trophies, leaving only the useful ones. Now take out the proceeds first. Lin Yu stood on the high fence of the console, facing all the vault hunters and said. At this moment, Bai Shui was watching this scene from the corner. She and Xiao Yu both had beautiful eyes twinkling, and felt that this scene was really incredible. With so many years of history in Roof City, there have been at least 500 times in the face of hordes of ghouls, some at the disaster level, some at the trial level, and some simply survived. This year should be considered particularly difficult. But the strange thing is that the Alliance has detected before that there will be a void figure in this ghoul wave, but Lin Yu has never seen it here. As for the troops in his territory, there was no suspense at all, and they directly killed hundreds of ghouls. The corpses of these small ghouls, without accident, many turned into flesh and blood, and very few parts gave birth to spirits. And those flesh and blood that still had the physical and spiritual power of the original giant beast's corpse have been swallowed up by the elephant world Gu. A large amount of flesh and blood was devoured, making the entire territory gradually grow larger. The previous gaps have been filled, and those solid barriers transformed by the spiritual power of the clay Gu have actually been transformed into flesh and blood. Therefore, the body of the mountain and sea giant elephant has been fully completed, and now the devouring ability of the elephant world GU has become a size that increases its territory so that this size can continue to expand. Although this change is very small, Lin Yu knows the extent of the change. After devouring the corpses of all kinds of ghouls on the battlefield, there should be a 500 square meter land on the back of the mountain and sea giant elephant, which can be used for living. After increasing the size, more buildings will appear on the back. While Lin Yu was arranging the loot, the influence of the tide of ghouls was still impacting other territories. Territories number 9521 and number 9522 that were broadcast before are still under siege. More than 3,000 ghouls, led by a rank 5 ghoul leader, carried out an echelon attack, and more than 300 vault hunters had already died. The rest were eliminated and lost their qualifications to become vault hunters. The most important thing for a vault hunter is his own skills, physical skills, etc. Once the body is disabled, it is difficult to perform physical skills, so he will become an eliminated. I'm eliminated. My foot was bitten off. Woo, it's too scary. I want to go back to the academy. Brother, come to the border and help me. I can't beat it. Where are your teammates? Where are your teammates? Where are your teammates? Where are you? In the communicator of the public channel, various voices calling for help sounded one after another, and the tide of ghouls continued to come up, and the dense number made one's scalp numb. Let the treasure hunters dare not continue to push forward, especially in the same period when they just graduated this year. 60% of them are now planning to go to the hinterland and return to the human settlements in the safe zone. This allows for some simple tasks to earn contributions. It's just that the contribution earned in this way may be pitifully low, and you can only become a 2-star hunter in the end, and you will never be able to improve. At this time, Lin Yu's appointment arrived. 9527 Lord, Lin Yu, Shanghai Town develops powerfully, contributed to number 9528 territory, promoted to 2-star secret treasure lord. Quote. This is a belated news, but it also makes Lin Yu's name mentioned again. Lin Yu is in 9527, he should also be an important area attacked by the ghoul wave. How is it now? He fought back. Lin Yu is selling something. He's in the market, folks, go and see the market. With one word, all the people turned on their communicators, and except for the people on the first wave of front lines, the rest entered the trading market. Then I saw an extremely shocking scene. Lin Yu hooked up 201 blood-sucking GU. Then posted a post on the forum. Vampire GU is reduced in price by 20% for a limited time, devour or share, blood-sucking GU can bring recovery effects, and it is easier to survive in the tide of ghouls. Next, I will look for body GU and wild boar caps to distribute. Shanghai Town Leader hyphenation point Lin Yu close double angle bracket. I rub it. Conscience. The price is reduced by 20%, buy it. Buy and then kill ghouls. If you kill them and sell them, we can sell them in the trading market. Lin Yu really has a conscience, has his territory actually passed? The first war against ghouls. Quote. Many people had mixed feelings. At the beginning, they were still saying that Lin Yu was an idiot for choosing to be the Lord of the Vault, but it turned out that his territory was as stable as Mount Tai during the first wave of ghouls. Not being attacked at all, such a stability gave all the frontline vault hunters great confidence. Can win. At least the first day can be won. On the spot, 201 blood-sucking GU spirits were sold out directly. At this time, no one thought about the growth potential of the purchased GU spirits. They directly chose to devour or share them. For a while, the strength of the vault hunters in the 9521 and 9522 territories increased. A lot. Kill it again, brothers, go up. Someone shouted on the public screen, like a tide of ghouls, rushing up wave after wave. At this moment, Lin Yu was stretching in the center of Shanghai Town, namely Xinfang Manor. He had just fallen asleep for about half an hour. After waiting for the fatigue of the body to end, drink a bottle of expensive stamina recovery potion, a bottle of qi and blood recovery potion. Then lean on the bed and pay attention to the current network trends. When the first day's attack passed, it seemed that everything would become a little quieter, and in his territory, the time to repel the tide of ghouls was too early, so it seemed unusually calm. And Lin Yu also has enough time to pay attention to the development of 740 notes. Soon, the class group chat became hot. Shu Chengqing. Lin Yu. The first wave of ghouls in your territory has passed. How about the casualties? Long Dabao. How about the casualties in the group? Is there anyone missing arms or legs? Come run errands for me later, and I'll pay the wages. Long Dabao's personality has always been like this. He prefers to make jokes about others in the group, and he even uploaded a photo of himself. In the photo, Long Dabao and his teammates took pictures in front of the 30-meter-high rotting ghoul, and it seems that they have gained a lot. Shu Zhen. I'm not very optimistic here. It has been sold and put on the trading market, but no one will buy it for a while. I have no money to buy medicine. Ding. Group notification. Lin Yu sent Stamina Potion X 299, Spiritual Power Potion X 299, Blood Potion by 299 inches. Lin Yu. You take it yourself. How much you owe me is recorded, and I am now signing an agreement with Lanbo Company, and I can threaten them to bring me many goods, all of which have to be paid. I wipe. Lin Yu. Ha ha ha. There is potion. Equipment. Do you have equipment? Get me a 3-rotation sniper rifle. Brother Yu. Help me scan the goods of non-standard weapons, let me see if there is any equipment I like. Lin Yu suddenly smiled wryly, but then thought of something. This time may be an opportunity. He originally planned to make a name for himself in this wave of ghouls. He needs to make enough contributions so that he can go to the treasury to exchange for some that he can use. Level equipment, or precious materials. At the same time, it is not a small opportunity for Lin Yu to do business and find a way to promote fame, no matter what it is. Danger and opportunity coexist. It seems that the truth has been placed in front of us. Lin Yu. Yes, there will be equipment produced by my businessman Kai. You can pay attention to it. I will push his D to you. It is good. K. There's business done. Lin Yu dialed the phone, which made Kai excited. I'm going. Young master, is there another one? At present, we control the range of 10,000 meters nearby, and the territory still needs to be expanded. The more businesses the better, the better. What kind of business is it? Kai was already very uncomfortable, and his tone became obviously very excited. After coming to Lin Yu Shanghai town and settling in, Kai Huan had a second spring, and all kinds of business orders that had been lost before all came in one after another. Now the GU spirit business and material business have returned to the previous state. In the southern area, which is the ass of the giant elephant, a heavy industry area has been opened, and the master has spent millions of gold coins to purchase the Foundry Alliance. Start to build the basic heavy industry to complete the order with Lanbo. Now that you have business again, you may be busier, but correspondingly, your overall income will become more substantial. Selling equipment. It's time to sell non-standard equipment to the outside world. Each type of equipment has a suitable rating, and also has a unique name and entry characteristics. Is it okay? Yes, it's too expensive, young master, not every vault hunter has your luck. How powerful is the Bone King's revolver? You only have one. I'll figure out a way. Just buy me some equipment and forging materials. My classmates at the same time will come to buy with you. Okay. Now I'm going to sign a contract with Bai Shui to help me do this well. Lin Yu hung up the communicator. Sure enough, soon after, Kai's phone rang, and the calling aides reported their names, and then Lin Yu's name was spoken. Kai answered one by one, and then prepared to open a store. In the trading market, you can open your own unique store, and you can also send a designed list of goods to unique people. In short, this matter was finally handed over to Kai to arrange. After Lin Yu finished this task, he changed into a clean lord's uniform, went out from Xinfang Villa, and settled on the ground paved with bluestone slabs. The roads have been divided in the territory by clay GU, and the intricate road construction will be completed in the next month or so. And Lin Yu just took a look, and went down to the next floor. He is now building the interior in front of the public, and when the Earth Phase GU is not deployed, Shanghai town has 3 floors of buildings in the huge interior space, connected by stairs, and overall, it has an area of 8,000 to 12,000 square meters. He reached the bottom floor, which was a piece of land where a large number of blood grasses were planted, all of which were used to restore qi and blood, and to make blood potions and various strength potions. The snow lotus is there too. But now the snow lotus has settled down quite a bit, mainly because the void creatures have been eaten up by the void swallowers. Bai Shui was waiting on the third floor. When the territory unfolded, it was actually the farmland area outside Shanghai town, far away from the manor villa where Lin Yu lived, especially now that the manor was going to be turned into a castle. Maybe after a period of construction in the future, they will be farther away from Lin Yu, and the concept of real class will emerge. Of course, this is not a strange thing in the place where the human race lives. Classes have appeared a long time ago, and men and women workers can live here. Next to a wooden house, a shed of about 50 square meters was built, and the flying machine GU for repair was parked. Bai Shui and Xiao Yu were overhauling the broken flying beast. Then wait for the night before releasing it. The previous battle went straight to dawn, and now it is in the repair stage. Next, the wave of ghouls will definitely launch another attack. After all, the number this time is called 1,000,000. Then the third rank and fourth rank ghouls must still be in the future, and only after the attack of the fourth rank ghouls can the territory be truly as stable as Mount Tai. Brother Lin Yu. Quote, Bai Shui showed a smile, bandages were tied on her shoulders, and she was treated with wound medicine. Seeing Lin Yu coming, she finally felt a little more relaxed. Lin Yu nodded, quickened his pace, and without much change in his face, he said calmly, I thought you were joking, but I didn't expect you to be really hurt. Haha, it's okay. Bai Shui pushed back her hair, showing a beautiful face, and winked at Lin Yu, I'm here to ensure that your spoils can be successfully recovered. This time the harvest is terribly low, and the profit is huge. Right, I saw you directly listed 201 blood-sucking GU on the trading market. That's right, Lin Yu led them to the wooden house and made tea. I hang these blood-sucking GU. First of all, it doesn't have much effect on me. If swallowed, the blood-sucking effect can reach 18%, while sharing is only 5%. Quote. And once swallowed, it will be difficult to share the contract in the future, and there is only one way to go to the end and keep swallowing. Well, this move is really powerful, and you have earned fame and money, and this amount of money doesn't seem to be a big amount to you. Bai Shui really admires Lin Yu now. Mentality is not at the same level as the students of the same period, and he actually has another identity, he is Mo Fei's disciple. Could it be that he is an incredible person? At least he has a high status in Roof City and is well informed. He has once been to a huge corpse territory like Dragon Valley, and he has seen a corpse with a size of 300,000 meters. He is evolving into a kingdom. Process. The keel and the bones of the giant dragon turned into the Dragon Valley, and the now famous Dragon Kingdom was born. Only Mo Fei knows the secrets there, so many people yearn for it. So, now can we talk about agreements and contracts? Okay, Lin Yu has already seen Bai Shui's sincerity. Lanbo Company is a building material for defense. In fact, he is more willing to let Lin Yu accept it. His territory is already very aggressive. The mountain and sea giant elephant can destroy mountains and set foot on large mountains, claw. Easily face countless ghouls. But the reason why he refused to let the mountain and sea giant elephant step on the nest directly was because he didn't want to let the territory set foot in a dangerous place. After all, the defensiveness of the territory is actually not high. There are no tall towers, no long-distance defensive secret hunters, insufficient manpower and insufficient territory construction. Such things will happen. Okay, this is a purchase contract. Now I want to know how much building materials your territory needs. Bai Shui took out 3 contracts, one of which required 32 million gold coins, an all-round solution for all building materials within a square meter. From the paint to the wood, they are all produced by Lanbo Company, and have a strong defensive atmosphere. When the spiritual power gathers together, all the buildings will emit powerful defensive shields, adding a shield to the territory. The rigidity of the shield depends on the degree of construction material used. Let me explain to you that all the building materials, including a top pillar, have been soaked in the thick liquid of the defense powder, and it has been confirmed that the building materials have been completely absorbed. These building materials come from bone powder. Our company's bone powder is made from monster bones with more than 4 ranks, which are more powerful. So the defensive effect is also better. Specifically, I will explain to you later. You can watch our internal video about the production of each building material and each bucket of paint. Lin Yu stretched out his hand and decided to take a look for himself. Because of this knowledge, he really doesn't know that most of the teaching in the academy is to teach you how to become a qualified vault hunter, and then roughly tell you the specific development direction and method of the Vault Lord. But these details are not covered. Some of the bones of giant beasts can reach 3,000 meters in length. Such huge leg bones have not yet fully transformed into natural scenery. If turned into a natural terrain, the bones are generally flat plateaus or gentle mountains. But if it is not transformed into a natural landscape, it will be used as equipment materials, forging, sewing, or metallurgy. However, after crushing, countless blue, red, and yellow powders can also be obtained. Blue represents defense, red represents killing, and yellow represents resilience. Contains a lot of spiritual power. Then soak the building materials in the pool made of these powders, and gradually they will have the corresponding strength, and attracts for a while. The more building materials, the stronger the strength. It can also affect the survival of the territory, and only one family can be used, because after mixing, the territory will default to 2 different giant beasts, which will cancel each other out. After watching the video of producing building materials, Lin Yu was sure that Lanbo Company was serious about doing it, so he chose the 1-year contract of 32 million gold coins. This one, my territory will be expanded at any time, 32 million, and I need to replace my territory with your Lanbo Company's building materials in all directions, and I demand that the speed must be fast. Quote. Bai Shui froze for a moment. She didn't expect Lin Yu to choose the highest grade building materials. There are more than 9,000 territories in the Terran region, and only a few dozen lords choose, and those are all big families. Nuo Qian Zhao, but Lin Yu dared to choose this directly. Brother Lin Yu, this. No, you don't want to take care of my performance just because I have paid a lot for you. Bai Shui said with a wry smile. Because she came to support, was injured, and completed the task arranged by Lin Yu. In fact, it was to show Lin Yu in front of him, and then let him feel compassion. I'm sorry not to sign. But now all of a sudden, she has to pay 32 million gold coins every year, which makes Bai Shui feel a little embarrassed. In fact, she felt that the newly built territory was only 10,000 square meters, and the minimum contract of 3.2 million was the best, and the strength of the shield would not be weak. It can resist the climbing of a Turn Ghoul. No, if you don't come to help, I will choose you, Lin Yu said flatly. It's that simple. Then, the payment method I choose is annual payment, and I will pay you enough gold coins at the end of the year, no problem. No, no. Bai Shui and Xiao Yu were both dumbfounded. This kind of courage is rare, and the first month is coming soon, and the property will be counted once in the first month. Lin Yu spent such a large sum of money, it may be affected, because other vault hunters have family members to help. Tian Gang and Shu Shu have already started to form the secret vault hunters. Strength and financial resources are not to be underestimated. At this time, in Territory 9521, a mountain city formed by a huge praying mantis corpse at 14,000 meters. Located in the highest peak building city at the head, a new combat command headquarters was established in a certain luxurious manner. Tian Gang stood in front of the console in a black combat uniform, looking at the map transmitted from the area he was in charge of. 2,000 ghouls have been found, and this territory is an arm, which has not yet been unearthed. Well, wait a little longer, mark this area, and we, Black Rose, will go and capture it. The people in front of Tian Gang were all wearing such combat uniforms. This is a standard combat uniform, but with different levels, the protection power is completely different. Same. Behind Tian Gang was an Eagle Strike, the most powerful sniper rifle. He looked at the console in front of him very seriously, with a suspicious look on his face. There are more than 2,000 ghouls here. It will take at least 3 days for us to take them down. I don't know if Territory 9521 can hold it. The other vault hunters are too bad. Tian Gang's husky voice gave people an invisible pressure, and many teammates around him expressed fear. Check the trading market. What has Lin Yu started selling? Selling resources. We have snatched 5 blood-sucking GU. In addition, there are also a lot of energy for sale, wood and various ores. These things are useless. Bring the communicator, I'll talk to Lin Yu. Someone took out a special red communicator. This is a privileged communicator that can ask many people for their communication aids. Connect to Lin Yu. Jingle bell. Lin Yu's figure suddenly appeared. He was sitting on a chair now. His face looked very comfortable, as if he was enjoying life. The slow-paced life makes Tian Gang feel a little uncomfortable. Why are we all experiencing the attack of ghouls, but you can sit in a chair safe and sound and rest without any worries? This guy is really enviable. Lin Yu, I want to do business with you. Tian Gang explained the purpose of coming straight to the point. My family can't support me too much, otherwise my contribution will be deducted. The alliance internally regards this ghoul wave as our assessment for this period. You should know that. Quote. Lin Yu nodded. I know, Tian Gang. Okay, we are old rivals, I will not beat around the bush on this matter. Now you sell the resource to me, I am willing to pay 120% of the price to buy it, don't put it on the market. I reject. Lin Yu shook his head, and looked at Tian Gang calmly, waiting for the next step. Lin Yu, this is not good for you. You are now a 2-star vault lord, ahead of all of us, but I must be in the top 3. Tian Gang is a member of the Tian family. There are 3 imperial knights in the Tian family, and his father, Tian Meng, is also a national martial uncle. He has the title of Earl and owns more than 1 million territories. If he can't make it to the top 3, he will definitely be punished by the family. 150%. I can afford the price, but there is a shortage of potions now. I need a lot of potions, all kinds of potions. Tian Gang seemed a little impatient. Lin Yu said unhurriedly, I will still put it on the market. I can tell you that the next batch of medicine will be ready tonight. Just be ready to grab the goods. I'm not the kind of person who sits on the ground and raises prices. The involuntary tone and impersonal style were exactly the same as Lin Yu before. After saying this, Tian just wanted to thank him. But Lin Yu has already hung up the communicator. And he set the permission to deny access to his red communicator. The corner of Tian Gang's mouth twitched, and he said to his subordinates at the operating desk, You have been watching the trading market for me all night. Don't let go of any chance to snatch potions. Our combat effectiveness is all in these potions in the end. No matter what kind of medicine it is, you must grab it. I will give you a share of 10 million gold coins, and you can buy it casually within this amount. Understood, boss. Tian Gang was in a very bad mood. He thought that after leaving the Starlight Academy and the power of the family could secretly help him, he would become an existence that everyone looked up to, at least able to shine in every major action, but now come on, Lin Yu is more than 1 step weaker. Not only that, almost no one in the same period can compare with Lin Yu, whether it is fame, wealth, or personal force. So he climbed out of the ridge at the head, and then went up to a higher peak. The highest peak transformed by the praying mantis monster has been bought by Tian Gang and used as his command room. Of course, it's also used as the best spot where he can snipe ghouls from a distance with his eagle strike. Not long after, the high-pitched and loud sound of eagle strike piercing through the air sounded, and somewhere 1,800 meters away, suddenly a large ghoul with rank 2, the golden armored leopard ghoul, was headshot directly and then turned into a puddle of blood. At night, the building materials of Lanbo Company have already begun to be transported to Lin Yu's Shanghai town territory through the portal. Workers and designers have begun to design the land, and the construction will be completed tonight. So Lin Yu divided the vault hunters into 7 teams and sent them out to guard the outer defenses, while Lin Yu had more time to pay attention to the changes on the network. His territory has already begun to change, so the new business should be considered. With the ability of the current synthesis system, Lin Yu's gold-absorbing ability can be compared to that of the entire Lin family. Of course, the core equipment and GU spirits are still reserved for himself. Use. For example, Linglong Battle King GU Spirit, Elephant Realm GU. These super GU spirits are their own core GU, and their preciousness is second to none in the world. Elephant Realm GU now needs 15,000 synthesis points to synthesize. Evolution requires 30,000 points. It's a sky-high price, and Lin Yu will have to wait at least another month before he can make a choice. As for Linglong, it was time to consider synthesizing or evolving it again. Lin Yu certainly leans towards synthesis. Linglong has 3 abilities, Flame Wave, Thunder, and Civet. The Civet endowed her with incomparably flexible agility, and even if she can flash forward in conjunction with the Thunder. The stronger she is, the stronger the ability shared with Lin Yu, so that Lin Yu can also flash in a short distance, and her agility is like lightning. Flame wave and thunder are two completely different attack methods, which belong to elemental damage, enough to wipe out mobs, and it is very simple to cause damage in a large area. Open the forum. Lying back on the bed, Lin Yu opened the forum interface, and what he saw was indeed howling. Just last night, the first wave of ghouls has caused more than 100,000 vault hunters to withdraw from the ranks of treasure hunters. In addition, tens of thousands of people died directly in the wave of ghouls. This is a very shocking figure. It has improved a lot compared to previous years. The first wave of ghouls has always been relatively weak, and it is unlikely that so many people will die. It's because of the void. When Lin Yu was flipping through the post, his previous recruitment post was still there, and by accident, he opened his post and saw the discussion area below. The first discussion answer was very intriguing. It was Lin Ling's post. Lin Yu is just a descendant of the Lin family, and he doesn't even have a line of inheritance for property, and will continue to expand, but only 500 people have been recruited, so there is no money. His money has to be used to support those vault hunters. The hunter's contract is also a big problem. At least 1 million gold coins are spent on raising the team every year. If there is an accident with the vault hunter, you can see if he can afford it. Under this comment, there are not many likes, but there are quite a few people who abuse and mock Lin Ling. She is a girl and the only vault hunter who is the same age as Lin Yu. It seems a bit strange to be pushed out to say these words now. Well, that's true, Lin Ling reminded me. Soon, Lin Yu updated a post, and now Lin Yu's account has reached the 13th level inexplicably due to various comments, popularity, etc. The highest level of the entire forum is level 20, and very few people reach it, unless it is those vault hunters who really have nothing to do all day long, gossip about with a communicator, and then gossip about it for several years or 10 years. It is possible for the regiment to reach this point. So as soon as he posted a post, he was immediately ranked first again. Recruiting vault hunters, the original requirements remain the same, potions and equipment are given, and you can freely accept various tasks without affecting your work, and pensions are given for the disabled, and the last pension has been issued, Lin Yu. In the post, Lin Yu's gold coin transfer certificate was posted. 10 people were seriously injured, all of them were eliminated vault hunters. These people were originally from poor families. They came to Lin Yu to live a stable life and receive wages. Who knew that after signing the contract, they encountered a huge wave of ghouls? The disability subsidy given by Lin Yu is 10,000 gold coins. And, every year, I rub it, really gave it, 10,000, every year. Isn't this working for him? I am willing to die in Lin Yu's territory. Submit your resume. This time his pension was issued with 100,000 gold coins. He must have been injured in the tide of ghouls, but don't forget that Lin Yu was alone in resisting the tide of ghouls and only injured 10 people. Not dead. Worry, this territory is too outrageous. I also want to work on that walking giant elephant. After the tide of ghouls is over, Lin Yu will definitely start building. I guess he hasn't started buying electricity GU yet, so he can catch up with the good time. The Lin family is in a big loss. I'll go. Lin Yu just dumped 10 million to the Lin family a few days ago, and now he still has money to recruit. It seems that the 23.1 million sold for water and fire energy stones has not been spent at all. In another room, in the inner territory of Mountain Sea Giant Elephant, in the wooden house on the lowest floor of Shanghai town, Bai Shui, who was recuperating on the bed, lay on the bed and watched the forum. Her legs, which had already been put on black stockings, were lifted up continuously under the hip-wrapping skirt, and then slapped the bed. She was rarely so playful, and she had always shown Weiren with a cold face. I suddenly saw Lin Yu's post, and suddenly became interested. Then the corner of her mouth curled up, and she also posted a post on the forum. The Roof City branch of Lanbo Building Materials Group had the honor to advance and retreat together with the Lord Lin Yu, repelling the tide of ghouls of the Order of 2000, and signed the highest customer contract for a period of 5 years. I would like to congratulate the general public. A brand new lush territory will soon come. Rising, I, Lanbo Building Materials Company, will do my job well and protect the territory for Mr. Lin Yu, Shanghai Town, Market Sorting, Baishui. After posting this, it seemed to cause some kind of chain effect, like stabbing a hornet's nest, and all the bees ran out at once. Before the hundreds of millions of citizens in Roof City were shocked, another company issued a statement. The Roof City branch of Wangyuan Building Materials Group terminated the contract agreement with Lin's Far East Heavy Industry Group and researched for the marketing manager, Zhu Ziming. The Roof City branch of Red Star Building Materials Group terminated the contract with Lin's Far East Heavy Industry Group and researched for the marketing manager, Long Division. As soon as these 3 posts came out, the entire forum, as if it was an appointment, the people of the Lin family were stunned. The post that Lin Ling left a message before was even received crazy replies, and they wanted to catch her out. Lin Ling directly turned off the communicator, not daring to respond. Now, the profit loss of the Lin family's Far East heavy industry has directly reached the maximum. Hiss. Some people seem to smell the smell of gunpowder. Is there a civil war? This business war seems to be getting better and better. But at this moment, Lin Yu once again dropped a blockbuster. Lin Yu put 1,000 qi and blood potions on the trading network, which was 20% lower than the market price. Another act of charity. God, where did Lin Yu get these resources? Are blood bottles so easy to get? Am I dazzled? A bottle of great blood potion costs 1,000, and he sells it for 800. 1,000 bottles, that's 800,000. Am I dazzled? Gone. The moment the qi and blood medicine came up, it was swept away. Looking at the transaction records, it is Black Rose who is following the drum. Black Rose, the newly established Vault Hunter mercenary group. This is relative to the occupation of the Vault Lord. The Lord of the Secret Store can raise an army. After the number reaches a certain scale, the territory will also expand, and if he makes a certain contribution, he can be granted a title. Within the alliance, there are multiple imperial emperors, and one alliance emperor, who can be knighted together. Once they become knights, their status is obviously different. They can form a family of their own, or have more autonomy. Vault Hunters do not have an army, but they can form a mercenary group. A powerful mercenary group can be hired by the Lord, or take on some extremely difficult tasks. They can also become legendary Vault Hunters and shrink into the annals of history. The Black Rose is the mercenary group founded by Tian Gang. They directly swept away 1,000 blood bottles and did not leave them for others. My day, it's too much. What's wrong with me buying a blood bottle? Tian Gang, are you going to sell it at the original price? It would be too much to do that. Messages exploded in the discussion area of the trading field, all condemning Tian Gang. A person can only use 3 bottles a day, and a person with a strong body can use 6 bottles. How long do you need to use 1,000 bottles? Isn't that how blood returns? But Tian Gang didn't care about this at all. He bought it and went offline, and it doesn't matter to him if it explodes on the internet. Then, that night, in Territory 9521, on the corpse of the giant execution mantis, the mountain with the head of the mantis on the head let out a roar, gathered 80 Vault Hunters on the spot, brought supplies to fight again, rushed into their investigation. The ghoul's lair then took the arm. As a result, the entire chaotic and undiminished network continued until the dawn of the next day. In the morning, as usual, Lin Yu woke up under the suppression of the little elephant and Yuyu, and then drank a glass of wine made by Yuyu. Her unique bodily fluid is rich in powerful moonlight spiritual power. Master, this wine contains the essence of the sun and the moon, so you should drink more. It can improve your health every day. Sure enough, after just one sip, Lin Yu immediately felt that his body became stronger. Although the range was not very large, if he drank it every day, his physical strength would be limitless in the future. That's the weird thing to say. Month by month. Sun-moon essence, coming out of the inner atrium villa, Lin Yu came to inspect the territory. What he saw made him extremely comfortable. More than 1,000 workers are assembling Lanbo's unique azure blue streamer steel, wood, stone, etc., and the house has been refurbished. The design is biased towards the style of the previous country house area, with a flat roof and a balcony. Even where the male and female workers in Shanghai town live, almost all of them have been replaced by parallel composite blue building materials houses. These blue gilt houses exude a blue halo, and then faintly gather together to form a blue sky. Yes, it is the blue sky and white clouds that Lin Yu had on the blue star before. It also gave him a little more comfort. His territory is getting better. Above the blue sky and white clouds is a shield. The water curtain formed by the shield made Lin Yu feel very at ease. Seeing Lin Yu coming, soon, a man in a white gown ran towards Lin Yu, followed by Bai Shui and her secretary Xiao Yu. Mr. Lin, we found something wrong. Your territory seems to be getting bigger. Bai Shui also came over and looked at Lin Yu strangely. Is this your supernatural power? Super power, or the power of the elephant world GU? Brother Lin Yu, we can't hide this matter from us, it is indeed getting bigger and bigger. Yes, my territory will grow bigger every day. Lin Yu admitted down-eyed generously. Really get bigger. Bai Shui thought that Lin Yu would at least cover up a little bit, but he admitted it openly. To be honest, lords have their own secrets, and so do vault hunters. What they hand over to the Alliance may not be all, it may just be the tip of the iceberg that they want the Alliance to see. There are so many giant beast corpses in this world, all kinds of strange things, and all kinds of races, so it is possible to get any treasure in this cemetery world. For example, the deep pit in front of them now, with the quicksand flowing downward, forms a crypt world by itself. If you guess correctly, it is also a certain part of the giant beast's body. It's just that, 930, has not been analyzed for the time being. The map features they have in their hands are too few. Unexpectedly, it is really getting bigger and bigger, so Lin Yu. Bai Shui suddenly felt bitter, and her heart was not beautiful all of a sudden. At first, she thought that Lin Yu chose the order with the biggest burden because of her. 32 million a year, signed an order for 5 years, that is 150 million gold coins, the average family would not dare to come up with such a large sum. Lin Yu's land of about 10,000 meters is actually willing to agree, so there must be emotional factors in it. Who knew there was a trap? No wonder he explained it so simply that day. It turned out that there was really no emotion in it. Bai Shui felt that she had been hit by a heavy hammer, it hurt so much. Lin Yu, does it grow up fast? It may be very fast, but it may also be very slow, depending on devouring. My ability is to devour small nearby corpses, and then let the territory grow slowly, probably like this. Why? Lin Yu put everything on his own abilities. In this world, some people will slowly awaken their abilities when they are born. However, the probability of this ability appearing is basically a few people, several million there will only be one among people. He didn't mention the ability of the Elephant Realm GU. After all, the Elephant Realm GU only exists in the illustrated book, and many abilities are unknown. Lin Yu didn't plan to reveal it until the upper echelons of the Alliance came to him to learn about it. It's over, if you become a Jazz in the future, wouldn't I have to continue to help you take care of all the territories with 32 million a year? In the peace agreement, all of Lin Yu's territories were mentioned, and they didn't ask Lin Yu some special questions at that time, but who knew that this giant elephant would grow up? Big loss. Lin Yu smiled, and the middle-aged man in white clothes in front of him stretched out his hand. We welcome doing business with smart people, but I hope that Mr. Lin Yu can make a little profit after our Lanbo Group company has lost money in the future. Of course, no problem, I will have other business for you, such as water and fire energy stone. Lin Yu threw out this sentence in a timely manner, which made the middle-aged man in white in front of him smile. Okay, my name is Bai Chow Chow. You can call me Brother Chow. I'm in charge of the technical department here. For Bai Shui, I will do more business with you in the future. I am sincere enough to do the construction of the territory myself. Troubleshooting. Lin Yu nodded, and continued to patrol the territory until around 6 p.m., and then came to the back before night fell. The back has spawned an arable land, just before the rolling mountains. As soon as he looked up, Lin Yu could see a shield like a water curtain, rippling in the sky, magnificent. Every time a bird crashed into the shield, it would be like a stone thrown into a calm lake. Waves up. Well, the defense is extremely strong, but it seems that because my territory is too large, I can only defend against some ordinary birds and beasts. He looked forward. Under the blood moon, the golden gravel vortex looked very strange. Gravel, swirl, what could it be? Every kind of natural landscape is related to some original parts of the giant beast, so naturally the gravel seems to be something. Suck back everything nearby, and there is also a deep light emitting from the deep pit, which means that it is a small space, a cave. Mouth, nostril, belly button. Lin Yu guessed a lot. If these parts are really the ones, it would be a big deal. The mouth of the gravel cave with a radius of 70 to 80 meters as the eyes are the mouth. Then the giant beast buried underground is likely to be the same as the mountains and seas. Colossus is about the same size. That means there are rank 5 GU below. Lin Yu, you are here. Wang Dong came back to 3.1 in the distance. Today he tied a casual ponytail, with a half smile on his face, and walked quickly towards Lin Yu. I've checked the surrounding area, and I haven't found any ghosts yet. 20 meters deep, there is a karst cave inside, and if you go deeper, you will encounter frenzied wind, blowing from top to bottom. The wind level is not high, and the wind is rushing and slowing down. This information is very simple, but it is very important, and it can actually be analyzed, and the golden mandala has been seriously injured, and was directly burned by the flame of the eagle strike, so it should be impossible to continue to desertify. Lin Yu suddenly had a solution. Well, there is a way, try to get that golden mandala out. The golden mandala is a natural ghoul snake. If you get it, if you can give birth to GU spirits, you will really get rich. At night, go check it out, and continue to patrol around the territory. It is good. Wang Dong received the order and went back to get medicine and equipment. The development of Lin Yu's current territory, the most important thing is that on the first floor of the territory, the snow lotus farmland near the lungs is now ripening almost once a day, and then every 7 days, the snow lotus needs to be cooled for 3 days. Even so, the blood medicine produced can allow Lin Yu to earn about 3 million gold coins every month. Even if Lin Yu sells all 80% of the market price, he will earn 2.4 million. After farming, male workers will grow normal vegetables, plants, peppers, etc. for self-sufficiency. Female workers learn the craft of tailoring, can sew clothes, and produce for their own use. If at this time, Lin Yu can get the GU Ling of the natural department, then he can create a climate within the scope of the territory. Now in his territory, there is actually only day and night. If there is more climate, then the prosperity of the entire territory will become even higher. This also means that Lin Yu can receive more synthesis points every day. He is very short of synthesis points now. And Lin Yu didn't plan to contract other GU spirits. So if there is a nature-type GU spirit, he intends to let Linglong synthesize it, and it is time to improve Linglong's ability. For the new GU spirit, Lin Yu still plans to try out a new formula before making a contract slowly. Night. It was just after 12 o'clock in the morning. Ding. New day, your synthetic harvest, 1040. Total synthesis points, 4,456. It has accumulated to more than 4,000. Lin Yu paid attention to the changes in the synthesis point, and then set off with Wang Dong. He, Wang Dong, and Yu Tiantian, plus Lin Yu's core contract GU Linglong. The Linglong Battle King of Mechanical GU, a GU spirit specially born for one-on-one duels, has superb fighting skills and can deal with enemies of various sizes. The 4-person team, of course, is Lin Yu as the captain. They quickly passed through the 10,000-meter deep area, and came to the ground pits of golden quicksand, and the deep caves were blown by the breeze. Lin Yu glanced inside, but couldn't see anything in the pitch black. My eyes of the void can explore a long way, do you want to try? Yu Yaoyao said eagerly. Lin Yu smiled wryly, and quickly waved his hands. Forget it, I don't need this one. There are ghouls here, I don't know the level, I don't know the number, the power of the void is emitted, it doesn't make them turn into evil spirits. Are you coming? Seeing Tuntun's enthusiasm for the void, he almost regarded them as food, and maybe other ghouls are similar. Look again, this quicksand cave is definitely not that simple. Lin Yu glanced at the inner wall. There were many barbs on the inner wall, and among the sharp stones, there were intricate buildings like a long bridge in the sky. After falling down layer by layer, the visible depth can only reach about 1,000 meters. How about using the mountain sea giant elephant to directly step into dew? Wang Dong felt that if they entered, they would be too small, and they didn't have the ability to fly GU, so they could only hang them down with hooks and locks. This height is outrageous. It's dangerous if attacked. Forget it, Lin Yu immediately dismissed the request. The giant mountain sea elephant is his base camp, if it is swallowed whole, it will not be worth the loss. Where can I get another elephant realm GU? Among the characteristic entries, Currently only the GU spirits of the Elephant Realm GU series have the ability to revive the corpses of giant beasts. Let me try it. Lin Yu sighed. These people are unreliable at present, so he took out his Bone King revolver. The white bony spurs aimed at the deep place, and poured a lot of spiritual power into it. Additional ability, Instant Strike. Rumble. Huge spiritual energy exploded on a huge rock about 1,000 meters away, and the gravel inside rippled and waved, blasting out a huge pothole and destroying the original rock. Then, within the huge pit, roars came out one after another. Bad luck. It's really a bet on guns. I don't know who made this gun. It's really interesting. The instant strike is very precise and fast, making it impossible for the target to dodge, but, at this time, the ballistic is lost. Without the ballistic, there is no light. Boom. Lin Yu fired another shot, corroding the toxin. A large mountain wall was corroded, and then the entire inner wall moved. The huge circular opening moved a bit, but still couldn't see the shadow inside the cave. But at this time, Lin Yu seemed to have thought of something, and then fired again. This time he was lucky, and the pattern of the hexagram lit up, illuminating the entire vicinity of the inner wall at once. Then under the flickering light, Lin Yu saw more barbs, and protruding convex stones, descending in a circular shape, rotating layer by layer, densely packed. A huge circular pothole, the inner wall is like a spiral staircase with sharp stones protruding. And there are many folds on the mountain wall. Lin Yu's eyes suddenly lit up, glanced left and right and said, "This is the mouth, this terrain must be Chen Luhudi's mouth, it's not big, I guess it's about 2 kilometers long." Linglong immediately transmitted a piece of data, which shot out from the mechanical scanning eyes of her eyes. Form 3D modeling and outline the size ratio. Came to her conclusions. This is the desert worm. The desert worms that were born in the 4-turn ghoul land, if turned into nature, most of them are huge potholes, which can be used to store many treasures, build weapon arsenals, reclaim water, and so on. There is no such thing in Roof City, but in Yinma Province, 2 cities in Yinma Province have unearthed the corpses of giant desert worms at a height of about 3,000 meters. They used this natural underground pit for military experiments and built underground laboratories. Another place is used to place energy absorbers and raise a huge reaction table that can accommodate the absorption period. All in all, very useful. And for Lin Yu, the pothole might be more useful. That's right, get rich. Yu Yaoyao's eyes also lit up. Having this thing is equivalent to having a cornucopia of natural energy. Go down, there will be no danger, clear the golden mandala, and this territory will belong to us. In fact, not only potholes can be made into a cornucopia of energy, because this desert worm has a special body structure, the whole body is the mouth, and the tail end is the excretion port. Therefore, most of the spiritual power and food with aura of life will gradually turn into veins in the entire pit and form various ores after thousands of years. What Lin Yu wanted was to see if he could find ore veins in this pit, and if so, to see if there were manganese ore in the ore veins. After all, such an extremely rare crystal of iridium can be sold for 10 million gold coins in the market, which is very valuable. And Lin Yu has an iridium gun in his hand, so he can try the so-called high-level lottery with 60 of them, and see what good things he can get. The free snow lotus can purify the dirty energy and accelerate the development of the farmland in the territory. If there is another similar thing, the harvest of the territory will be more, and the prosperity will be even worse. Since it is the corpse of a desert worm, it means that this huge pit is actually not very deep, at least not reaching 10,000 meters. Lin Yu made a judgment, and directly bought a sounding instrument in the trading market, the second-turn long-legged GU, which can extend the detection to the space below 5,000 meters, and use it immediately after teleportation. The long-legged GU gurgled a few times, and then the thighs began to elongate. It continued to extend downward, and soon reached 1,000 meters. When it was 1,000 meters down, the long-legged GU suddenly let out an "ow." Ah, whoosh. The long leg quickly retracted, and hit the body with a slap, and turned into a normal appearance, about 10 centimeters in length. It was a spherical GU worm, furry and without a shell. Avertisement. The 2 legs seem to be hanging below the body, and they are specially used to measure the depth and the depth of the sea water. During the endless years of growth of GU spirits, various kinds of GU appeared, mainly to adapt to the environment in which they were born. After the ghouls reach the end of their age, or bite and kill each other, natural GU spirits will be born, and these GU spirits are also creatures on the mainland. It is not captured by the human race. Then they will evolve and evolve, thus giving birth to GU spirits that adapt to the environment, or GU spirits that absorb aura and turn into other special abilities. It's amazing. Around 1,000 meters, you will be attacked. Lin Yu said with a wry smile. This long-legged GU is not resistant to fighting. It is not a fighting GU. It is classified as an auxiliary GU, a functional GU spirit that assists the life of the human race, so once attacked, it will be the same as the strong coolie. Tian Fen was scared. Almost. If there are ghouls living at 1,000 meters, then the bottom will be at most 2,000 meters. Lin Yu, calculating the area, it only needs 2,000 square meters of water at most to force out those underground ghouls. Quote, Yu Yaoyao felt that it only needed to submerge about 2,000 meters below to see the ghouls inside. Many ghouls, such as the golden mandala, definitely cannot survive in the water, because it belongs to the category of wind and sand. Natural GU insects. What I fear most is water. It is good. Just do it. Lin Yu dialed Baishui's communicator. Only this woman might be able to mobilize so much water, because Lin Yu doesn't have a container to store so much water, and there is no large-scale building in his territory yet. Water conservancy system. It relies on the mountain spring water in the belly of the mountain and sea giant elephant, in the kidney cave. The mountain spring water flows out of the potholes originally formed by the kidneys and flows to the buttocks area. There is a long and narrow mountain road, winding and overlapping each other, which is the intestines of the original mountain and sea giant elephant. Eventually it turns into a waterfall leading to the business area that Kay is in charge of. After hearing Lin Yu's explanation, Bai Shui was also very interested immediately, and quickly rushed over to meet him. After observing the pothole, she mobilized the company's water reservoir, stretched in from the other end of the passage, and got Lin Yu use territorial authority, open irrigation pipelines. Soon the splashing water column fell from the channel and poured into the deep pit. Golden Mandala is most afraid of water. If it is less than a kilometer, it will rise up, and I think there should be nothing else in it except it. We just need to be ready to kill this Golden Mandala. Bai Shui stared at the deep pothole and said, but at this time Wang Dong had already placed the eagle strike at the mouth of the pothole, aiming at a certain place in the quicksand below. Soon, a water column with a diameter of tens of meters poured into the entire pit, and various ghouls roared and roared, as if the sky was falling. Linglong, thunder. As soon as the words fell, Linglong raised the muzzle of her right hand, gathered countless thunderbolts and aimed at the water source, and shot down directly. The sudden burst of thunderbolt turned into a thunder dragon, and rushed into the entire pool of water with its teeth and claws. With a loud crack, the electric snake spread across the bottom of the pit. Then the main body form of the Golden Mandala appeared immediately, got out of the water with a puff, and twisted wildly upwards along the mountain wall. With quick eyes and quick hands, Wang Dong pulled the trigger, and Bai Shui clearly saw that the moment the eagle shot sounded, the base of the recoiled gun stock suddenly hit his chest. Boom! There was a muffled sound. Wang Dong's entire left body was shaking crazily, but he could bear it. All crazy. So is Lin Yu, and so is Wang Dong. A product like Eagle Strike should not be used as a standard sniper rifle. After all, it looks like a defective product created by accident. But I have to say that its power is indeed very huge. Boom! The terrifying power of Eagle Strike, like a huge nail, directly nailed the Golden Mandala to the inner wall, and watched it struggle crazily. Immediately afterwards, Yu Yaoyao's mechanical GU fired 16 tracking bullets in a row. Lin Yu's Bone King's revolver hexagram lit up, hitting 6 Auroras on it, while Linglong's left-hand flame wave engulfed the head of the Golden Mandala, and directly bombarded and killed it under the wild bombardment. Puff! When the blood gushed out, the Golden Mandala's body was constantly changing, but at this moment Wang Dahao, it seemed to have some resentment directly locked on Lin Yu, and some imprint was imprinted on Lin Yu hard. Always feel hated. Lin Yu had a feeling on the spot that this kind of thing should be hated by a race of GU spirits. It may be difficult to establish a good relationship with snake GU spirits in the future. Thinking of this, Lin Yu couldn't help but shook his head with a wry smile. Sure enough, GU Ling, with a word, spirit, in its name, would have various special abilities in itself. It's almost there. Go down and check it out. There must be a lot of minerals in this pothole. Lin Yu found this little secret, and his mood immediately improved. The tide of ghouls ahead is still far away, and they may not even dare to continue to charge their territory. After all, within half a day of the first wave, Lin Yu solved the battle. This is not for everyone. I found a mine. I found a mine. Master, please come and have a look. Half an hour later, several people who entered the pit to sweep found the mine, and Lin Yu mobilized 3 teams to help find and explore. After digging through the inner wall, huge pits were discovered. Under the pits, there are treasures that can be sold everywhere, including those jagged teeth, each of which is about 20 meters long. After being cut off, although it has become a rock, but when the outer shell of the rock is broken, the inside is like a milky white crystal. Lin Yu quickly flashed to Linglong's side, and entered the short and deep pit with her, then turned on the light, and saw some green stones on the wall. Dig it out and see. Lin Yu suddenly became happy. Linglong dug one of them. The complete stone is oval, green, the closer to the center of the stone, the darker the green, and the innermost part forms a core, which looks very dazzling. Lin Yu couldn't judge the value, so he walked out of the small cave and called Bai Shuijian. Help me look at this. When Bai Shui saw this stone, she was stunned. I'll go. How lucky you are. She took the stone, checked 400 repeatedly, and then the flashlight irradiated the inner center with a strong light, and saw that the crystal clear inner core vibrated a little, and under the shaking, it seemed like there was water rippling inside. This thing is the stone of a giant beast. What? Lin Yu couldn't help laughing out loud. Could the desert worm stones form a vein? Although it is a stone, don't forget that it is also born by absorbing the vitality of a powerful giant beast, although it is incompatible with the body. Bai Shui explained patiently. When we mine, we often get similar concretions. After the giant beasts die, their bodies will soon turn into the mountains, seas, lakes and forests of this world. This is a natural change. And this stone retains the original vitality and spiritual power, and it is not so easy to evolve into nature, which means that it still contains a lot of spiritual power. Bai Shui put away the flashlight, and then turned on a certain button of the communicator, which emitted a beam of physical light, which was a screen on which the value of the stone was given. This kind of stone is called pure energy stone. Pure energy stone, as the name suggests, contains a large AFAC amount of energy. If it is absorbed directly, or absorbed by the cultivation warehouse, it will increase the level of people's spiritual power. Vault hunters have no levels, only contribution stars, so big families will use energy stones to train young children, so that their hunting links in the end-of-year competition will be even more powerful. Speaking of this, Bai Shui paused for a moment, took a deep look at Lin Yu, but hesitated to speak, and continued, such a palm-sized pure energy stone costs about 120,000 gold coins. Lin Yu frowned suddenly. This is a circular downward mineral vein, about a kilometer, and there are more pure energy stones in the cave. What did you want to say just now? However, he still caught Bai Shui's unspoken look just now, so he asked. Oh, nothing. Bai Shui tied her long hair behind her ears. Seeing this scene from a distance, Yu Yaoyao suddenly twitched the corner of her mouth. Tisk, there's something wrong with this old girl, she seems to be interested in my Lin Yu. Wang Dong smiled helplessly in the distance and scratched the back of his head. Old girl, if she heard this, she would probably be in a fight. That night, the blue moon. It was a peaceful night. Under the blue moon, the evolution speed of the corpse of the giant beast would be twice as fast, the spiritual power emitted would also increase, everything would grow, and the ghoul would be at peace. Unlike the bloody blood moon, the world at this time is relatively peaceful and there are more activities in the peaceful era. But in the next blood moon, the wave of ghouls who have recuperated will definitely make a comeback. Lin Yu returned to Shanghai town, and held a simple banquet in a bar in the first-floor territory. After drinking some wine and eating delicious food, Lin Yu and Bai Shui signed a joint development contract. He plans to hand over the development of the mine to Bai Shui's company, and get 80% of the profits from it. Similarly, the tax will be borne by the Roof City branch of Lanbo Building Materials Group. There is no other reason, this territory cannot be taken away and I don't want to hand it over. Not to mention other materials, the corpse of the entire desert worm and the vein of pure energy stone can give Lin Yu a valuation of 40 million gold coins. If new veins are discovered, the value of this corpse will be even greater. And Bai Shui is going to spend another 20 million gold coins to buy this territory with Lin Yu. As long as the territory. Of course Lin Yu is willing to sell. Such a territory, no matter what they use for Lanbo Company, they will not lose money, and Lin Yu just doesn't want to stay here to manage the territory. Win-win. After coming out, Lin Yu asked the elephant owner to come into the pit and collected the desert worm's heart, spleen, and kidney. Spleen stone and kidney stone can be mined for 30 pieces. The heart is a desert crystal. It's a pity that there is still no helium ore in this pit. And the golden mandala didn't turn into a GU spirit, and the natural GU spirit really wasn't that good. Ordinary GU spirits will be born after the death of a ghoul, but nature type, celestial phase GU, and mechanical units are too difficult. After signing the territory transfer contract, Lin Yu also let the elephant master GU absorb a large amount of flesh and blood, enough for the next 10 days of growth energy, so this exploration ended. Both the money from the mine vein and the harvest from the territory will be shared by Lin Yu. The mine vein will account for 80% and the territory will account for 10%. Now he can make a lot of money. The blue moon lasted all night, everything was calm and growing independently. Lin Yu's synthesis point rose again by 1100, breaking through the 5,000 mark. And the reserves of gold coins reached 30 million. Of course, he has not paid Bai Shui's fee for this year, although this fee is not in a hurry. If Lin Yu contributes all the income from his territory to the league, then he will be the #1 player in the same period. But no one is that stupid. The next morning, Lin Yu just woke up. Immediately received a large number of private chat requests, messages, and forum news reminders, and even a joint letter from the Starlight Academy and the Roof City Alliance Center. All of a sudden Lin Yu sat up. He had never encountered such a snowflake-like letter before. He first clicked on the letter from the Alliance Center, and after a glance, he was suddenly surprised. Chapter 71, Starlight Academy, signed by Mo Fei, Lin Yu's tutor. The center of the alliance is Qinshan, the mayor of Roof Ridge City. Both of them are celebrities in the entire Yinma province. The letter to Lin Yu is also very simple. It directly opens up new permissions, allowing him to increase construction efforts and form business park. At the same time, it is requested to open a transmission channel in Lin Yu's territory to create a channel for residents to communicate freely. This transmission channel is free. The Alliance will personally carry out various maintenance and construction, and the benefits generated after the intercommunication will be fully owned by Lin Yu. In Roof City, all that is needed is the degree of development. Lin Yu touched his chin, and suddenly thought that it was still the time of the tide of ghouls, and there were at least 2 waves of ghouls. And the last wave may be that the giant rune hand will appear on the stage in person. According to the experience of surviving the tide of ghouls in the past, 60% of the people will die. Give permission now, is it too early? Or do they trust me? Lin Yu shook his head with a wry smile, and temporarily declined the letter, but also promised that after the wave of ghouls, he would consider opening it. For no other reason, there are too many secrets in his own territory, such as the Elephant World GU and Snow Lotus, which belong to the level that the Research Institute of the Human Race Alliance has not reached. In addition, there is a crocodile. This crocodile has reached 35 meters, and it is still growing rapidly. It is currently living in the nostril of the mountain and sea giant elephant. It would be a hassle if found out. Although Lin Yu's relationship with it is not that close, but that little guy has always regarded himself as a relative, and he is very close every time. After rejecting the message, Lin Yu opened another private message. Only then did we see the current focus of attention from the outside world. Lin Yu's walking elephant master has become a beautiful scenery in Roof City, because in the past few days, Lin Yu has not allowed the Elephant World GU to unfold the mountain and sea giant elephant, so it has always been a towering giant. Just across the edge of Roof City. Such a giant gives people a feeling of incomparable peace of mind. Even if you look at it from a distance, you feel very inferior. On the giant elephant, those hard city walls, as well as tall watchtowers, residential areas, 4-legged ladders, etc., all make people curious. Because they have never lived in such a territory. A walking territory. So many merchants and vault hunters have sent requests to Lin Yu, wanting to urge him to quickly arrange an area where the townspeople of ordinary territories can live. Then a new ecology can be formed. Lin Yu wanted to accept this request. It's just that the current standard of living in Shanghai town is still at the ancient level. The water source comes from mountain springs, and two big rivers run through it. One is from the nostrils of the giant elephant to the heart, and the other is from the kidneys to the buttocks. The business district is at the fertile hip, and the agricultural district is at the loins near the liver. The atrium is the villa where Lin Yu lived, which is currently being converted into a castle. With a capital of 30 million, plus the building materials and house renovations that are about to be completed, Lin Yu's territory can indeed be divided into living areas, but some rules may be difficult to implement. His patrol force only has 30 vault hunters. When the number reaches 100, the first batch can be released. However, this does not mean that Lin Yu will completely reject them. Merchants can settle in first. After all, doing business now does not necessarily have to be in reality. A large trading network can provide online transactions. And the goods can be transported, but the larger the quantity, the more handling fees will be required. So, Lin Yu spent half an hour writing a letter to the general public. It was sent to the forum, initially explaining Lin Yu's territory plan, and then the first batch of quotas will be opened a month later, and now only businessmen are accepted to set up shop in the territory. As for the tax after opening the store, the price of the store is all private information, and you can send relevant materials to Lin Yu's mailbox. In this notice, there are more about the rules of Lin Yu's territory that is open to the outside world, the areas that can be moved after entering the territory, the areas that are gradually opened up, and so on. Finally, the recruitment information. Lin Yu will expand the recruitment of vault hunters, and increase the overall salary of vault hunters, from the previous level of 3,001 star to 5,001 star. In this case, it is about 30% higher than the wages of most mercenary regiments. All of a sudden there was an uproar. Because the Vault Hunters mercenary group still needs to buy territory with the Lord, or lease it, they need to pay expensive land taxes every year. Lin Yu is different. The entire territory belongs to him, which was allocated to him by the Alliance when he was 18 years old. If he does well, all the profits will be owned by himself, and if he does not do well, he will have to bear it himself. So most people will not choose a territory, it is wasteland after all. If the big family wants waste soil, they can just spend money to buy it. The money will not be too much, and there is no need to waste the quota of the family's children. Who knows, Lin Yu actually brought the wasteland to life by himself. As soon as the news came out, the quota immediately became a rare treasure. Although it is necessary to sign a contract, it is equivalent to selling oneself to Lin Yu as a house slave, but poor vault hunters, those who are poor and have little talent, are willing to do so. So in less than 10 minutes, Lin Yu's mailbox exceeded thousands of resumes. He had no choice but to call Linglong over, use the fast processing of the mechanical GU to read, and then categorized all these letters, screened the replies. Screen out those with criminal records, and screen out those who have deserted during the Ghoul Wave. Within 1 year, those who receive less than 20 secret treasure bounty tasks will be screened out. In terms of age, it should be 20 to 30 years old. Lin Yu stated her requirements one by one, while Linglong deleted a large number of resumes, and in the end there were only 50 or so people left. Well, the last one, in the personality report, people who are difficult to manage are not allowed. Swish, another 20 or so were wiped out. 30 people remained. Okay, let's recruit these 30 people. Lin Yu checked their resumes repeatedly, and found that there were no problems with their backgrounds and resumes. Although the completed bounty tasks were not of high reward level, they all met his requirements. He has a certain ability, and his temper is relatively mild. He can follow orders and manage, and his strength is not bad. These vault hunters deserve to be kept on the island. It's a pity that all of them are 2 stars, and there are 5 more female vault hunters. Relatively speaking, female vault hunters are better. After all, because they are inherently weaker in physical strength, their mind and intelligence are on average higher than those of men. Let's recruit. Each person pays 10,000 gold coins per month. You can accept tasks freely, but you can't delay the daily tasks on the territory. There are 2 days of vacation every month, free activities, and you can leave the territory. The pension will be distributed at 10 times, and those who have no family members can be distributed to the planner. After Lin Yu finished speaking, Linglong holographically recorded his request and sent it out. Then all the 30 people clicked agree in an instant, ready to land in Lin Yu's territory to make a contract. Another replacement. Lin Yu couldn't help but let out a long sigh of relief. The factory is getting more and more prosperous. In the afternoon, 30 vault hunters had already arrived at Lin Yu's territory. Now the staff has expanded to 60 people, plus 500 workers. Lin Yu's territory has already begun to take shape. Because it is the period of the Ghoul Tide, there are still doubts about the safety. So these treasure hunters felt the hardness of the inner wall of the mountain and sea giant elephant after they boarded the territory. The conclusions they drew reassured them greatly. If it can't be broken, even the 30 of them working together can't break through the outer defense, not to mention the inner wall. And the entire territory has 2 layers of shields. One layer comes from Lanbo Company's defensive building materials, and the other layer is 597, which is the Elephant Realm GU itself. The Elephant Realm GU seems to be able to extract itself based on the strength and origin of the entire territory, forming a force zone comparable to mountains and seas. Every time you hit it, you can make the earth tremble. This kind of protection, not to mention the tide of ghouls at rank 7, might survive rank 8. So the Vault Hunter and Lin Yu immediately signed a contract, and within 5 years, they will stay in Shanghai town honestly. After receiving the equipment, enter the scheduling and attendance of the patrol mission. Another day passed, and finally it came again. A large number of ghouls rushed from a distance, and drilled out from the cracks in the ground. For them, the various terrains of the wild mountains and forests are of course more familiar than the human race. So they come from all directions. The Alliance quickly obtained the approximate data and issued an announcement. The second wave of ghouls is dominated by iron bluestone bull ghouls known for their vitality. Their vitality is strong, and their bodies are as green as iron, exuding a gradual luster. The body is 3 meters long, and it is not afraid of death when running. The number has reached the 500,000 level. There may be void creatures mixed in during this period. Please prepare for the territories number 9521, 9522, and 9526. Lord number 9527, Lin Yu, please prepare for support. Support mission. The last time Lin Yu guarded the territory, he survived the tide of ghouls and gained a lot of fame. This support mission is very easy. The iron blue stone bull is very difficult to deal with, but luckily it didn't come for its own territory. Strangely, the second wave of ghouls actually avoided their own territory. Lin Yu got off the crescent moon tusk of the mountain sea giant elephant on the spot and landed on the ground. After walking through the deep pit of the desert worm, he climbed up the hillside. Walking to the top of the slope, looking into the distance, there is a grassland, a huge lake in the distance, and there are mountains and mountains behind the lake, but there is no trace of the ghoul. Lin Yu stood still, and there were ripples on the calm lake in the distance. Even under the blood moon, the ghouls here were not so violent. There is no war, the territory is safe, but the collection of spoils is a little less, he thought. The territory near here, the place where there may be mineral veins, the place where the corpse was born, the place where the ghost inhabits has been searched all over. The rest were just some wild rank 1 GU, Lin Yu almost didn't like it much anymore. It takes about 10 minutes, half an hour or so to search for and catch a rank 1 GU, and the effort must be out of proportion to the income. Well, it seems that the giant mountain and sea elephant can be deployed directly here. Within a radius of 10,000 meters around here, most of them are plains, and the small forests are nothing, they can be directly felled and flattened, and a piece of flat land can be mined. As for the so-called support, Lin Yu doesn't plan to go in person, but he can do business. That night, number 9521, the head of the giant praying mantis corpse, a large number of vault hunters ambushed from the canyons on both sides, as well as heavy bombing equipment in the territory. The flames of war unfolded in front of the 30,000-meter highland ahead, flattening mountains and rivers, diverting rivers, and flying sand and rocks. Snipers, machine gunners, and gunner hunters frantically output the spiritual power in their bodies to kill ghouls in exchange for Alliance contributions. After another time, the melee treasure hunters rushed up to fight melee with their swords on their shoulders. The fighting lasted all night, but the Husho Hill was still captured, and the Darkfire mercenaries retreated 5 miles to rebuild their defenses. Hit it, hit it. Don't listen to anyone. Tian Gang was trembling with anger at the command post. Impossible, Legion Commander. There are more and more iron blue stone bulls gathered above, and it will only increase the casualties. We really need more troops. Let's recruit more people. Two lean one-star secret treasure hunters said beside him. That's right, Lin Yu has recruited again. If we ask for help, we can only ask for help from his number. 9527 Shanghai Town. In this case, it's better to recruit people. Tian Gang's cheeks suddenly puffed out. What he didn't expect was that in the second wave of ghouls, Lin Yu was lucky enough not to be hit by any ghoul lairs. Is it because he was too strong in the first wave, so the ghouls are scared? Recruit. Recruit again. Even with Tian Gang's character, he felt a little irritated. He was originally a resolute person, who could fight in close combat, and could also snipe and bomb from behind with an eagle strike. But now, I also feel powerless. Is it my lack of leadership? Why did Lin Yu and Lin Yu live so differently? He is already at ease, but I have to run around for the survival of the territory. Hateful. Recruitment. Tian Gang recruited again, as expected of a member of the big family. I'll go. The money needed to be a mercenary group in the early stage is really a starfish. 10,000 gold coins for one person is short term. This year is the first year, all the money must be earned by yourself. Does Tian Gang have so much money? He didn't, but the family did. At this time, the family has many ways to make Tian Gang a big step ahead at the beginning. Lin Yu earns all his money by himself. In just 10 minutes, Tian Gang's recruitment information was heated up, mainly because he was also a topical figure. Tian Gang, Shu Shu, and Lin Yu are all star students of their age. The difference is that each of the three has its own characteristics. Tian Gang is a brave melee treasure hunter who is good at charging, like those brave and invincible generals in legendary records. Shu Shu is the kind of gloomy, lonely wolf, but he can kill many ghouls who are far superior to him at the simulated lord level. Lin Yu is the most comprehensive existence of O5, whether it is leadership, combat power, or mind, he is much better than ordinary people. Sometimes people say that Lin Yu even seems to have better luck than others. How so? Tian Gang, are you alright? In the grade group, the conversation has basically started. But everyone has noticed that there are many fewer people in the Japanese tone. At least 120 people have lost their qualifications to become vault hunters, either because they lack arms or legs, or because they were killed in the wave of ghouls. For a time, the people in the group were somewhat pessimistic. Tian Gang, is there a serious problem with you? We will help you. Yu Shaogang. This year's Roof City is really full of disasters and disasters. It actually encountered a wave of ghouls above rank 7. There is nothing wrong with the city next door, and the first month of acceptance has already begun. Long Yu. Yeah, I'm so unlucky. Why did I have to be born in Roof City? This year there will be a large-scale tide of corpses. Tian Gang. Stop talking. Recruiting vault hunters, even those of the same level can come. Shu Shu. How could this be? I am now in the Darkened Mountains. The cause of the ghoul tide comes from the Kanazuki Valley, and the Darkened Mountains are on its side. Tonight, I will find a way to slaughter the ghoul territory in the mountains and kill the ghoul leader in this place. It requires the cooperation of the three parties. Territory 9521 is the main attack direction of the Iron Blue Stone Cow. The ghoul wave is planned by the leader. Territory 9527 was originally the main target, but Lin Yu is too powerful. So it was changed to 9521 from your Tian family. The corpse territory of the giant execution mantis was purchased by the Tian family with a lot of money and developed to this day. After 4 years of development, it has lost its head now. Tian Gang, as a member of the Tian family, is also a treasure hunter, so of course he has to guard the town of death penalty mantis. Tian Gang, speak clearly. Shu Shu, at Lin Yu, are you there? Lin Yu, do us a favor. Shu Chengqing, if you have anything to tell me, I'll tell him when the time comes. He may not be free. I'm near Kanazuki Valley. Awesome. When I usually chat in the water group, I basically never see these big guys chatting and talking, but I didn't expect them all to come out in one breath today. Lin Yu, I'm here, don't tell me what you want to do. Lin Yu spoke in the grade group. Lin Yu, is your territory still recruiting? Can I go in? Lin Yu. No contemporaries. Is it true that your Shanghai town will open next month? As soon as he came out, the group suddenly became active. Except for those who were still fighting ghouls outside, the rest of the people were basically all present. Shoo shoo, Cheng, it's best for you to be near Kanazuki Valley. At 12 o'clock tonight, we will cause a commotion together, and then Lin Yu's giant elephant will come and pick it up, and cut off the ghoul attacking the execution mantis from the middle. Everyone can participate. How about the distribution of spoils according to work? Tian Gang. Okay. Lin Yu. Okay. Shoo shoo. At Lin Yu depends entirely on you, Lin Yu. Whether we can eat hundreds of thousands of ghouls this time depends on your giant elephant territory. Lin Yu. It's okay, it's very simple, don't be too nervous. Lin Yu was offline, but after the entire grade group was silent for a moment, it suddenly became lively again. Learnt. Tuition fee. Really, it's very simple, don't be nervous. Lin Yu never speaks, and I've never seen him. Is he always so pretending? You have his capital, and you can pretend. The Lin family is almost overthrown by him alone. If I were the Lin family, I would go secretly and find someone to assassinate him. Shish, don't talk nonsense. The chirping words kept ringing, but the grade group was rarely so united. In the past, were either eccentric with each other or compared each other in the group, but Tian Gang, Shu Shu, Yu Xiaogang, Lin Yu and the others never waste their time in this age group. After all, there are more than 1,000 people, and it is impossible to have a good relationship with each of them. There are leaders in every class, and if you want to suppress all the vault hunters, you can only use your strength, status, and contribution. After Lin Yu hung up the communicator, he looked at the time, and there were still 3 hours before their agreed time. There is no fighting in his territory for the time being, and he has received a support mission, so he should really make some contributions. Lin Yu is very familiar with the section of the road to Kanazuki Valley. Although the road may be full of ghouls now, it doesn't matter at all. The mountain and sea giant elephant has also improved a lot, and it is no longer the body that was just pieced together before. All vault hunters gather and prepare for long-distance action. After a while, Lin Yu called all the vault hunters in Shanghai town and gave an order. He is still looking for a power unit suitable for Linglong to synthesize. It doesn't matter if it is GU spirit, equipment, or treasure, but it must conform to the attributes in his heart. I hope I can find it this time. Lin Yu's synthesis points successfully reached 7,500 at 12 o'clock. After recruiting new personnel, it seems that the system defaults that Lin Yu has made a new breakthrough, especially the building materials of the Lanbo group have been installed, the shields have been opened, and the defense has increased. It can be said to be unbreakable. It's almost done, little elephant, let's go. 5. The dull and grand elephant's song ripplingly spread, and the mountain and sea giant elephant stood up directly from the crouching state, and its 10,000-meter tall body ran along the canyon in front of it. The wind blew past, and the scenery was changing crazily, but Lin Yu, who was actually inside the shield, could only feel the slight wind. That's right, because of this, Lin Yu's complexion became much better. It seems that the products of Lanbo Building Materials Company are pretty good, and they didn't harm him. At this moment, Lin Yu was sitting firmly on the console, and quickly approached this certain target. In Linglong's navigation system, the Kanazuki Valley that he had been to before was recorded, so he would not appear too sluggish, and could move forward in strides. However, Lin Yu's movements attracted the attention of the two local leaders of the Ghoul Tide and the Roof City Alliance. At this moment, the Ridge City Alliance Command Center. Chief Chinchin saw the changes in the Frontier's secret territory, and number 9527 suddenly left the original territory and headed towards Kanazuki. He was startled. What's going on here? Who can tell me what happened? Where did Lin Yu go? The frontline liaison officers were frantically calling all parties, but Lin Yu couldn't get through. But everyone knows that his giant mountain and sea beast can move, and now it is suddenly striding forward, there must be a purpose for it. Lin Yu probably wanted to take the initiative. This is not the first time. As a lord, he doesn't seem to have the slightest idea of guarding the territory. It is estimated that his mind is full of offense. And this time it was the same. It was obviously a support mission, but suddenly rushed to the front line, and even surpassed the territory of the execution mantis, which was already the target of the Ghost Tide. Is his mountain and sea giant elephant so powerful in defense? Why do you have the guts to rush out? Our 7-star hunters can't make a move at all, otherwise there will be a major war. Isn't this taught in the academy? Why did this person rush out? Qian Shan seemed to be burning with anger, and his face was full of anger. Soon, the contact person connected to Bai Shui's number and asked a little about Lin Yu's actions. But it turned out that she didn't know anything either. Then, another piece of news came that made Qian Shan almost collapse. Report, Master Chief, a battle broke out in the darkened mountains next to the Kanazuki Valley. The light blade cut through the mountains of the darkened mountains, beheaded countless ghouls, and was chased and killed by rioting ghouls. The Darkborn has come, and the Darkborn Sword Master Ghoul is chasing after him. At the entrance of Kanazuki Valley, there was a huge explosion. It was the power of mechanical GU. In addition, the tide of ghouls was separated by giant mountain and sea elephants. What? The white-haired Qinshan was suddenly stunned. He didn't expect such a thing to happen. Shan Haichan was directly separated between Kanazuki and the death penalty cockroach. It also made it impossible for the ghouls on both sides to get close. Then, these ghouls who entered the territory of the death penalty mantis became the turtle in the urn. I see. Lin Yu and Tian Gang fought a good battle. There are at least 100,000 ghouls here. Can these children swallow it? Qian Shan rubbed his chin. Although this was a test, it had actually become a battle between the two. Obviously, it would be impossible if he didn't make a move. After all, hundreds of thousands of ghouls have already entered the encirclement. If they don't help them, it doesn't seem like the style of the human race. When the fishing boat talks about it, he will be very distressed. Moreover, the corpses of giant mountain and sea giant elephants stood in front of them, and those ghouls couldn't possibly see that it was the Alliance's attack. After all, there were no rank 9 ghouls here, and there was no such thing as gratitude or mind perception, so it was safe. Backquote, release a 6-turn destruction storm, the coordinates are here. Quote. He clicked a central point. The range was just enough to cover the area between Lin Yu's giant elephant and the death penalty mantis. A moment later, Lin Yu had just come out of the command post at the head, and endless waves of ghouls were roaring crazily below. The ground was shaking, and more than 100 vault hunters of death penalty mantis rushed out in front, pouring spiritual energy into their submachine guns and sweeping away, and then there were more than 50 vault hunters waiting behind the team with their respective light blade melee weapons. After the vault hunters in front of the long-range fire attack are over, they will rush forward. But at this moment Li's good, a white thunder column descended from the sky, and it suddenly stood in the center. Boom! A gust of wind swept across the 4 directions, directly sweeping away the ghoul grandsons around. Roar! The larger ghoul general seemed to feel something, looked up at the sky, fear descended in an instant, the explosive storm centered on that thunder column, and a violent storm with a radius of at least 3 kilometers blew up all around. Countless ghouls are directly crushed at this moment. Ji Yuling fell from the sky in a rustling sound. Lin Yu's mouth twitched when he saw it. I know that the Alliance has made a move. This power is amazing. If it landed in his territory, the giant mountain and sea beast would probably not be able to withstand even one more defense. Great. When Lin Yu saw the ruining storm, he already knew that there was no need for these vault hunters to fight. All that's left to do is wait for the power of the destructive storm to end, and then enter the battlefield to clean up. All loot alliances should not be up for grabs. Compare them. Lin Yu knows the GU of destroying the storm. Celestial Phase GU. According to the Evolution Illustrated book, it will eventually transform into a rank 8 Space Storm GU. Even the power of jumping space cannot avoid the bad luck of being swept by the thunderstorm. This kind of GU spirit is very violent, and it is one of the means of long-distance bombing by the Alliance Command Center. Now, it is undoubtedly intended to avoid the attention of the Ghoul Lord and let Lin Yu and the others complete the harvest of the Ghoul Wave first. About an hour later, the storm dissipated slowly, and those 3 turned and 2 turned iron blue stone bulls turned into stone sculptures, slowly breaking apart inch by inch in the thunder, and fell to the ground. Soon, Lin Yu saw more ghouls struggling and writhing on the ground. The humanoid ghoul, unicorn demon, still summoning the little devil while waving the natural whip in his hand. But to no avail. At this time, Tian Gang from Death Penalty Mantis rushed out and led the team to start sweeping. Not to be outdone, Lin Yu asked his 60 secret treasure hunters to escort Kuli Cheng to search the battlefield. Then make up for those ghouls who have not yet died. Anyway, the ghouls in the center of the destructive storm have already died under this destructive force. An hour later, he stopped and stood, while cutting the heart full of life energy from the body of a 12-meter-high abominable ghoul. Lin Yu frowned inadvertently, leaving a stalk in his heart. He has been a human being in 2 lives, and his thinking is more active than others. There are many things to think about. Could it be that Qian Shan is beating me? Lin Yu knew that he had never listened to the orders of the alliance. Although his contribution was very high and he had always been at the top of the list, what they should want was an obedient young man. Otherwise, I would rather tie up a hot-headed person like Tian Gang who is willing to give up his life for the alliance, or even give up anything. I am too smart. I hope I think too much, but I have to be on guard. At this moment, Lin Yu looked up at the shield on the outer layer of his mountain sea giant elephant, and it seemed that it was still not strong enough. He still needs a little time to improve. Speed up the search speed, put all the GU spirits into your own communicator space, fill it up, and take out the rest to share with them. It is good. The secret treasure hunters began to clean up frantically, snatching the trophies, not letting go of any corner. Wang Dong took a 3-person team and headed towards the center of the thunder pillar just now. He clearly remembered that there was a big one-horned demon with 4 rotations before that place, which was very powerful. If a GU spirit is born, it must be a rank 4 GU spirit. It depends on what part the GU spirit inherits. If it is the essence of life, it will make a fortune. Combat strength can at least be improved a lot. Rank 4 GU spirits cost more than 5 million yuan, especially those with the life system. Soon, Wang Dong's eyes lit up. Found. Captain, over there. Someone pointed AFFG in one direction, and a light blue light shone. This light made people feel very comfortable and contained the power of life. Well, go and have a look. Wang Dong climbed over a small dirt slope, and saw the GU spirit in the huge deep pit. In human form, the big one-horned demon itself is a ghoul in human form. It came from the huge body of a bone dragon in the cemetery. The minimum body of the bone dragon family is 8,000 meters, and the maximum is 120,000 meters. Bone forests, birch mountains, snow mountains, etc. can be formed. At this moment, there is a dense white bone, and on the white bone about 15 meters away, a GU spirit is slowly conceived. Rank 4 GU. It is very precious. The price of ordinary rank 4 GU can already climb to 5 million, and there is no market for special rank 4 GU, because you can't buy it. Wang Dong sensed the fluctuations of the rank 4 GU, and immediately stepped forward, entering the range of the GU spirit's light, with a serious expression on his face, ready to check it expectantly. But at this moment, a voice suddenly came. Don't touch it, it's ours. Fool, get your dirty hands off. There are more than 10 million GU spirits, are you able to touch them? Wang Dong frowned as the continuous sound came. Looking up, several members of the Darkfire Mercenary Corps wearing dragon-patterned cloaks came towards them. They all had snipers behind them, and one of them had a submachine gun behind them. At his waist hung 2 pistols. In his hand, he held a light blade. The 3-turn standard light blade is extremely powerful, but it must have the strength of a 3-star hunter to use it. It seems that these mercenaries are old hunters, not easy to deal with. What do you mean by that? Wang Dong put away his pistol and looked at the 4 or 5 people in front of him quietly. They are all 3-star secret treasure hunters. Give us the spoils of war, look elsewhere, isn't it our greatest contribution to this battle? My name is Chen Shuang. You go back and ask Lin Yu to see if he will turn against us because of the rank 4 GU spirit. There are still a lot of spoils, you can choose others. Don't make trouble. Get out of here. The Dark Fire Man was vicious and yelled at Wang Dong. Even if he was a 4-star vault hunter, he didn't seem to take him seriously. I don't like these words anymore. What do you mean you saw them first? Haven't I already been in front of you? Wang Dong's right hand touched the pistol silently, and the 4 or 5 people in front of him were all examining and sizing up. Wang Dong, it's convenient. Chen Shuang breathed a sigh of relief, and his momentum suddenly softened. He didn't plan to fight Wang Dong here, although no one would see it. Impossible. Wang Dong also came with a mission. Speaking of which, he received Lin Yu's monthly salary of 20,000 gold coins, as well as various equipment rewards, as if he treated him like his own partner. If this is the case, because the other party is a son of the Tian family's powerful family, he will shrink back, and he will be ashamed to face others when he goes back. What the hell, do you have to do it? Chen Shuang said with a sullen face. At the same time, all the partners beside him immediately drew their guns and aimed at Wang Dong and others. For a while, swords were tense. A moment later, a figure flickered like lightning, and the entire night suddenly seemed like day. With a crackling sound, Lin Yu appeared from nowhere, kicked Chen Shuang's chest, and then took the 4-turn beast spirit into his system space. Not a communicator yet. Then someone shoots. Boom. A bullet with spiritual power exploded on Lin Yu's chest, and the strong driving force almost made Lin Yu unable to stand still. The Lord's suit on his chest exploded directly into a scorched and tattered place, and then Lin Yu didn't retreat, but looked ahead in disbelief. The man who fired the gun was still shaking. What are you doing? Not far away, there was a sudden shout. Tian Gang's sturdy body appeared in everyone's sight, and he walked over with a few strides, his face full of anger. A pistol that knocked out the man. Then he looked at Lin Yu's still smoking chest. Lin Yu, this. Tian Gang wanted to apologize, but he couldn't say it. No one could see Lin Yu's face clearly at the moment, because he was still surrounded by white mist, but the wound on the exposed hardcover chest was healing rapidly. His vitality is very strong, especially after getting the bonus sharing from Shaanxi GU. Such a small injury can basically recover within a few seconds. Lin Yu, listen to me, he probably didn't really want to shoot. Wang Dong's eagle strike was picked up directly from his back and aimed at Tian Gang. At this distance, the eagle strike didn't need to be aimed, it was an explosion. All of a sudden, the scene became even uglier. Lord Lin. Chen Shuang, who was at Lin Yu's feet, couldn't bear it any longer. He knew that Tian Gang would definitely not apologize, and he absolutely couldn't let go of this face. So only he can come. It was our fault. It is true that we were at fault in this incident. We shouldn't have done this to our friendly troops. But this shooting was absolutely unintentional. My team members were just afraid. Boom. With a clear gunshot, Lin Yu's Bone King's revolver appeared in his hand like lightning, and then ended Chen Shuang's life. No one saw the ballistics, or even any ballistics at all. It directly exploded Chen Shuang's head. What are you doing? Ah! Tian Gang suddenly entered a state of anger, and strode towards Lin Yu, staring at him resentfully. Chen Huan is my right-hand man. I paid 100,000 gold coins to invite him. Crash! Lin Yu threw a handful of money into the air, and it fell with a splash, and the golden light shone in his sight. Then, like a ghost, he flickered again, turned into lightning, and went directly behind the shooter, and 6 corrosive beams burst out from the Bone King's revolver. Bang! Blast him too. Unlucky, Wang Dong, the next time you meet someone who snatches loot, or who speaks harshly, do it directly. It's not like you can't beat me. I'll take care of what happens. As long as you don't go out to be arrogant and domineering. Lin Yu said lightly. The Bone King revolver in his right hand made a sharp whistling sound as if grinning. This is the sound of the revolver's magazine spinning wildly. Also, like Taunt of Fate, as these additional effects are also all random. At this moment, Tian Gang's aura locked onto Lin Yu in an instant, and he trembled. A golden-rimmed sword on his waist seemed ready to erupt at any moment. Why don't you kill me together? Tian Gang gritted his teeth and said. Lin Yu turned back slowly, seeing that you are a classmate, you are a dark fire under your hands. If you want to develop, you'd better think clearly before speaking. In the first year, if you use the power of your family, you will be gone. The alliance is very strict. In a word, all Tian Gang's thoughts of wanting to do something were blocked. This useless gas is really eaten. Without a family, Lin Yu who has a territory can't be done at all now. Apart from other things, the shield produced by the building materials of Lanbo Group should be equivalent to the entire defense of the 6th-ranked defense GU. 0. Even if they stretched to the 10,000-meter territory, their current strength of dark fire might really not even be able to penetrate the protective shield. How to spell? If you ask the family hunter to help, you will be deducted all points if you are discovered, and the succession of the family will be finished. Lin Yu. Tian Gang gritted his teeth and watched the 2 corpses turn around and leave. This matter should not be reported at all. Bear with it is the best. But here, Wang Dong and his 3 team members were dumbfounded. They only thought that Lin Yu was an amiable young lord. Today they saw it. Actually quite irritable. The most paradoxical thing is that he can grasp Tian Gang's mind, knowing that he will not attack, and is very clear about his own strength, so it will be fine to change the gun tomorrow. Go back and count the loot. This rank 4 GU is very useful to me. I will give you 4 bonuses separately. A group of people were dumbfounded and didn't know how to answer. The 5 returned to the range of the Elephant Realm GU, and then teleported to the territory. Lin Yu was as calm as if nothing had happened just now, and had already gone to the business district to find Kai first, looking a little busy. Back to the territory. Lin Yu got a detailed data about the loot obtained this time. There were 56 rank 1 GU, 12 rank 2 GU, and 1 rank 3 GU. There's also a ton of ghoul material, too many to count from 1 to 3 turns. Besides, the rank 4 GU in Lin Yu's hands is the most valuable. Even Wang Dong still doesn't know what it is. Lin Yu came to the business district, and Kai was already busy setting up 2 shops. The scale of the store is not very large, and the area allocated to him by the main Lin Yu is not very large. It's only about 2,000 square meters in size. Shops that look accommodating need to be built up and down many levels. I have new materials here. You can sell them. Remember to sell them in bulk instead of directly listing them on the trading market. Kai froze. 230. Okay, no problem, master, I'm familiar with this kind of thing. The origin of this batch of commercial goods may not be very fair. Of course, it can't be regarded as dirty. This is the spoil that Lin Yu snatched before the others came, but it's not nice to say it. Well, give me your room, I need to improve my strength. Lin Yu walked towards Kai's villa. In fact, there are still many things to discuss with him later, so he simply synthesized it here. Oh, it's a great honor, my young master. Soon, Linglong was teleported from her head to Kai's villa, and she had already arranged a plan to spread out. After all, Shu Chengqing and Shu Shu are still in the pursuit of Kanazuki Valley. Master, I'm here. Okay, Linglong, there is going to be a big upgrade next, you remember to keep your consciousness well. It is good. A look of determination appeared on Linglong's face, and the original blue eyes scanned the instrument, and turned red in an instant, emitting a faint red light. Lin Yu opened the system interface. The synthetic roots recorded in the system are dense, but there is a synthetic tree that has reached the highest peak, which is worth choosing. Lin Yu flipped his hand, and a GU spirit exuding a dark yellow aura appeared, and then slowly transformed into a human form. About 1.45 meters tall, the body is well proportioned, but completely shrouded in dark shadows. No face can be seen clearly, only the upward curve of the mouth is white. It makes people look a little scared and feel the power from the abyss. Turn 4 GU, Battle GU, Dark Devil GU. Born from shadows. When Lin Yu knew about it, he actually found it very strange that any creature has a sunny side, and then a shady side. Therefore, after the effect of spiritual power, most of the people born on the sunny side are bright ghouls, and those born are also bright GU spirits. And the dark side, especially in the shadows, is born with dark things. For example, this big one-horned demon ghoul. Darkness is born, 0 pervades. This is a superficial rule that can bring out the power of darkness a little. Light can illuminate darkness, but darkness can also swallow light. What kind of abilities can be given to Linglong, Lin Yu doesn't know. Are you ready? Well, the entire spiritual system has been activated. Linglong felt the aura emanating from the dark humanoid GU spirit, and immediately cheered up, full of energy. Lin Yu nodded and woke up the system. Start to synthesize. Ding. Consume synthesis point, 5,000 inches. Consumption rank 4 GU Dark Devil GU. Consume the body of the big one-horned demon. Synthesis. Hum. The dark mist instantly engulfed Linglong, sucking her body into the thick dark mist. Every second that passed, her aura was surging wildly. Ding. Successfully synthesized. Obtained rank 4 GU Linglong Dark Battle Body Hyphenation Point S type. Ding. It is detected that the GU spirit is on the verge of evolution. Do you want to evolve? Evolution. Deduct 2,000 synthesis points. Evolution is successful. Swish. After the second change, the three auras of flame wave, thunder, and darkness complement each other, but they seem to blend into one. The spiritual power between each other is growing and rising, and Linglong's body has become more compact and graceful, and the previous mechanical feeling has disappeared. Instead, under the mechanical feeling, the soft and delicate skin is exquisite and attractive. Even the color of the lips has become more vivid red, and it is a real skin tone, although it still has a mechanical feeling. Lin Yu was stunned. Isn't it genderless? Master, I confirmed my gender during the synthesis process. It seems that I succeeded. Well, very successful. Lin Yu took a look at her figure and had to say, it's quite impressive. Everything is just right. What does Linglong want to do? What is she going to do? This is very wrong. Ding. Successful synthesis. Rank 5 GU 3 elements Linglong Divine Machine. Linglong Divine Machine. Lin Yu clicked on the data about this, graceful and exquisite. The mechanized shape is eliminated, so that the previous mecha looks more like skin, black and white camouflage, and pink dotted skin, which looks quite different. The long hair is also out, except the eyes are still in the state of the V-shaped mechanical scanning eyes, the rest are already humanized. 3 elements exquisite magic machine. Level. Rank 5 GU. Potential. Legendary, red. Feature 1. Lightning strike. Each flash can cause a melee normal attack, best with a knife. This attack can be a critical strike, with additional elemental damage. Characteristic 2. Dark Civet flexible attribute increased by 310, increased by 40% in the dark again, melee armor penetration increased by 20%. Feature 3. Melee long distance master, can learn all high-level combat skills, enter the program to reach the master realm. Characteristic 4. Admire the master, from ontology consciousness, independent characteristic, share data up to 20%. Skills. Dark flame wave, darkborn thunder, lightning strike, 3 elemental detonation. Score. 31,230. The rating is too high. And Lin Yu's shared data reached 20%. He also began to change accordingly, and because of the guru characteristics, Lin Yu now has more insights into many previous combat techniques and skills. Should be able to continue to improve. At night, Lin Yu and Linglong returned to the atrium. Shall I sleep with you? I can now. No, that's not what it means. Lin Yu was startled in embarrassment. I'll go, what are you thinking? You were not like this before. Lin Yu sat on the sofa bitterly, and then arranged for Linglong a room on the first floor, while he lived on the second floor. In short, he really didn't have that kind of thought. Although Linglong now has 3 good things. Light tone, majestic and easy to overthrow. However, Lin Yu is not such a superficial person. He wanted to try a new combat technique to see how far he could achieve it. Mechanical GU can score more than 30,000, Linglong is definitely the best of the best. And after being humanized, she seems to have learned feelings, and Lin Yu will not sell them even more. He intends to try to see how far the most perfect rating can be achieved. So, Lin Yu opened the trading interface. Soon after several screenings, the interface for purchasing combat skills and various physical skills was opened. Since it is close combat, maybe O5 needs to equip Linglong with a knife. Mainly slender knives. All of this is burning money, but if burning money can be converted into a strong combat power, everything is worth it. Sifting, melee combat. Under the intelligent voice, many video cassettes and combat skills appeared soon, which were specially used by melee vault hunters and mechanical GU. Vault hunters can study in the holographic training cabin, simulate training, and speed up the learning speed, which will not take up too much time, but only consume energy. But mechanical GU is simpler, just input it into the system. Killing the waves. 21.3 million gold coins. Tiger Bend Double Lion Fist. 12 million gold coins. Earth-shaking fighting technique. 9 million gold coins. Middle distance fighting technique S. 4 million gold coins. Close combat S. 4 million gold coins. Nirvana 5 million gold coins. Lin Yu scanned around and found that those names were very domineering, most of them were very expensive, and their sales were not good. And the ones with mediocre names have high sales and the prices are close to the people. But it also shows the uniqueness, the names are very strange, and they all indicate the genre and family aristocrats. This is a combat skill handed down from the family, which can improve the combat effectiveness of the Vault Hunter. Common names are popular goods. After the selection, Lin Yu set the price range, and then selected middle-range fighting skills, close-range fighting skills, killing ground skills, special kicks, special boxing skills, and the basics of ancient martial arts of the Eastern League. A total of 20 million gold coins were spent. Afterwards, all of them were input into Linglong's system program. In less than a minute, she mastered all the basic fighting techniques and was promoted to the level of a master. Correspondingly, Lin Yu's mind was enlightened a lot in an instant, his body was crazily strengthened, and under the knot of muscles, his strong body became firm and strong again, and his power zone should be full from the dantian. He felt like he could shatter mountains with one punch. He also reached the master level. For an 18-year-old master level treasure hunter, if this news gets out, countless people will feel incredible. This is the benefit of mechanical GU. Of course, it also depends on how many combat skills the mechanical GU can withstand and its potential. And what level of attributes can it share with the owner. Lin Yu was obviously very lucky. He reached 20% at the 5th rank of Linglong. Maybe the relationship will become closer in the future, and it will be improved. This has been formed by Linglong's strong will, and now that the characteristics are added, it will only become stronger after synthesis. 3 days later, Xu Chengqing and Xu Shu arrived at the territory of Giant Elephant, and Lin Yu also evacuated his own territory and returned to the territory of 9,527 strings. After a short exchange with Xu Chengqing, he distributed the loot on the entire battlefield, got another sum of money, and then hung it on the trading market. With the support of Lin Yu, the second wave of ghouls, which seemed to be full of crises, survived the 9,521 territory perfectly. But the other 2 territories that were attacked were not so simple. They almost fell by 50%, and thousands of vault hunters were killed by the tide of ghouls. The specific statistics are still going on, and the disaster brought by the tide of ghouls is still impacting the hearts of human citizens. Lin Yu's life is much easier. After completing the support mission, and cooperating with the Alliance Command Center, I got 1,000 contribution points. His contribution has reached 3,200. Sitting firmly in the first position in Roof City, it even ranked 67th in the horse-drinking province. Roof City itself is very poor. In horse-drinking province, bears a lot of impact on the border, so it often has to deal with ghouls. So many geniuses died. Therefore, Lin Yu, who broke into the top 100, attracted the attention of many people. Who is this person? Someone from Roof City actually ranks in the top 100 of the 12 cities in Yinma. Haha, there are also geniuses in Roof City this year. I've heard about Lin Yu, who was in the same period. He won countless firsts in the academy. I didn't expect that he would be the first in his first year after graduation. A great person, but the family is not very big. Far Eastern Heavy Industries seems to have encountered business troubles recently, and it is about to fall out of the status of being able to attend the meeting. The one above may not be clear. I was doing a task in Wuji City at the time. I had a lot of trouble with this matter. The decline of the Lin family's Far Eastern Heavy Industry was caused by Lin Yu alone. This Lin Yu, is he so ruthless? He manages his own family and develops his territory at the same time, but he can still rank first in their city on the contribution list. What Lin Yu didn't know was that because the ranking was updated again, he had entered the field of vision of many people in the horse-drinking province, including the 66 people in front of him. The Yinma Yin family is the biggest clan in the Yinma province. To be called a powerful family, at least one family must have more than 10 billion gold coins, assets worth hundreds of billions, and some ancient GU spirit background. What is ancient? It is the GU spirit that was first formed. It is recorded in the classics that when these giant beasts in the cemetery continent turned the entire world into a burial ground, there was no land, and there was nothingness everywhere. After endless years, their corpses turned into the earth, the world, and various rules and laws were automatically corrected. Formed continents, formed mountains and rivers. The first batch of GU spirits became very powerful. For example, longevity GU. Longevity GU can increase a person's lifespan by 800 years. Another example is immortal travel GU. It can take people to travel to any random place on the continent. There is also fixed travel immortal GU. you can choose fixed coordinates to teleport to, as long as you have been there. It can be said that a person who possesses fixed travel immortal GU will never die at all. A clan is an existence with an ancient identity and strong strength in this world. Because of this, their names cannot be desecrated or humiliated. So the appearance of Lin Yu became a noteworthy target. There are 2 members of the Yin clan this year, one named Yin Zhao and the other named Yin Yu. The 2 sisters are separated by 3 months, one is from the main family and the other is from the side line. Fortunately, it is a woman. If it is a man, people will be dubbed Pang Mai Lang. At this moment, Yin Zhao is on the mountain of corpses, paying attention to the changes in the ranking. On the ranking released today, the reminder she set rang twice. Both times were from Roof City. The first time was Shu Shu from Starlight College of Wuji City, who entered the provincial ranking of 100. The second time was Lin Yu from Starlight College of Roof City, who entered the provincial ranking of 67th. Especially this Lin Yu. She sat on a dozen corpses, some from vault hunters, some from giant ghouls, and one, which was empty. The giant rune-handed ghouls broke out from the Kanazuki Valley, and actually spread throughout the entire Yinma province, but Roof City was the first to bear the brunt. All the corpses could no longer see their original shape, as if they had been repeatedly rubbed by a giant hand. These ghouls are all rank 4 ghouls, and belong to an extremely powerful level. Although the flames of war covered her face with gunpowder smoke, dust, and soil stains, this woman from the Yin family was still cold and capable. Her hair is purple and black, tied into a ponytail and fluttering behind her head. She looks very heroic, with a high nose bridge and bright red lips. After the ranking came out, she immediately followed Lin Yu and searched for all the information about Lin Yu. This man seems to have a straightforward personality. Her state of mind is very pure. She doesn't like to beat around the bush, and Lin Yu also doesn't like to beat around the bush, and never explains anything on forums or other networks. But every action of Lin Yu is the best response to the Lin family. Now it's the Lin family who are holding on, and Lin Yu is soaring into the sky. Then he saw the most important message from Lin Yu. Suddenly his pupils shrank sharply. What? A movable territory. He's a vault lord. How many treasure lords are there in the whole province of Drinking Horse? How did he do it? Is it a natural ability, or is it lucky to get the help of the ancient GU spirit? Incredible guy. Yin Ma number 3, please help me follow Lin Yu, I will receive any information. ZZ. A message came from the communicator. Satellite GU Drinking Horse 3 received, detected the Bloodline Authority, and can use the opportunity to return the remaining 3 times. After turning off the communicator, Yin Zhao thought for a moment, and barely counted Lin Yu among his enemies. For their aristocratic children, the contribution before the competition in the first year is as important as the competition. At that time, the alliance will have a prince. I don't know who it is, but there are too many rewards for those who really shine. Those rewards are enough for you to take an extremely important step on the path of a vault hunter, or vault lord. This is just a microcosm. In addition to the Yin family, people from several major families in Yinma province almost all noticed Lin Yu. There is nothing more amazing than having a movable territory, and it is self-evident how much value can be generated behind it. All this, Lin Yu has not noticed yet. That same night, he also received a call from Mo Fei, his tutor at Starlight Academy. Teacher, Lin Yu is wearing a white lord suit. Sitting upright, the attitude is very correct. In the past 6 years, my mentor, Mo Fei, has taught Lin Yu everything, and told Lin Yu the points that need to be paid attention to many times throughout the night, and when he is adventurous, he must be especially careful about those types of terrain. Because some terrains are themselves traps. Once it appears, it will be surrounded by a large number of powerful ghouls in an instant. You are fine, your choice was not wrong back then, but I also made mistakes in judgment. This year's Mo Fei has entered the last years of human beings and has begun to show fatigue, even if he is over 100 years old and close to 200 years old. Well, it's easy to be the first in the city, but in the whole province, I don't know. There are a total of 1 billion people in Yinma province. In the first year of this year's contribution, there may be some people who will work hard in the future. Don't worry, I know that you are also waiting for the future. I have a map here. Many people want it now. I want to tell you. Dark Dawn. Lin Yu's eyes suddenly lit up. This is the map that Mo Fei Qian Wangs has been protecting. That's right, there are many secrets there. Maybe it has something to do with your mother. I am your mother's mentor, and I am also your mentor. It is also fate. I have no choice to tell you about it. Your father, because his temper is very violent and aggressive. But you are different. Find a time, go back to the academy. Let me tell you something. Say in the communicator, it's not good. Lin Yu nodded, and the inner fluctuation suddenly came up again. He became the lord of the secret store, not only because the whole card in his hand was more suitable for this identity, but also because he had to have enough power. The mercenary regiment is too small. The Lord's army is the real deal. Because the mother thing seems to involve a lot of upper layers. Although Lin Yu is not their own. But these two people are the relatives he has had the most contact with since he lived so long. Then it's settled, you come back sometime. Could it be that he hung up the phone? Lin Yu was in the dark room, lost in thought. He thought of his mother's voice and smile, as well as his father Lin Zhendong's carefree personality. If there hadn't been a sudden change one day, the old boy might still be fishing every day. Mother Yijin's disappearance was quite strange. During Lin Yu's first year in college, she suddenly disappeared, and then the whole roof city blocked the news. It made Lin Yu more withdrawn from then on. Fortunately, he has lived a lifetime, and has more understanding in his character, and many things can be figured out. He recovered quickly, but this matter has always been a mystery in his heart. After his mother disappeared, his father also became a member of the expeditionary force, and he went to the territory of Winter. Now he has his own mercenary group, and he is attacking according to the various tasks arranged by the alliance. In exchange for more contributions. Lin Yu is not a child. When he was 13 years old, he knew that Lin Zhendong must be threatened or coerced. In short, he was lazy and not so hardworking. Now he is willing to contribute to the alliance. Everything is different. Alas, Lin Yu looked at the ceiling of the villa in his heart, and couldn't help but sighed. It's still a matter of strength, and now my strength is still not enough, so I can't really sit back and relax. The world is too big. Lin Yu thought. However, the development of everything is not too urgent. Lin Yu naturally understands the need to advance step by step. What they have to face now is the last wave of ghouls. The giant beast ghouls of the Rune Giant Hand are the monsters that the Roof City Alliance Center has to deal with, and they need to resist the last wave of ghouls. 3 days later, the last wave of information about the corpse wave finally came. Sure enough, without any accident, Lin Yu's territory number 9527 became the primary target, and more than 100,000 ghouls came towards AFEG Lin Yu's territory. In Shanghai town, there was almost howling. After hearing the Setsuna broadcast, Lin Yu had already started to smile wryly. However, just being able to test the defense of a territory is a danger, but it is also a benefit. That night, the same day in March appeared. The blood moon, the blue moon, and the bright moon all hang in the sky, and the tide of ghouls is like a tide, densely packed one after another. When the distance was 10,000 meters, he entered Lin Yu's detection range. At this time, the giant mountain and sea elephant had stretched the defensive shields in the building materials to the extreme, and the constant elephant realm Jiyu Shangwei began to rush out in circular waves, sweeping away all the ghouls it touched. Soon, the original ghouls were wiped to pieces, presenting a sea of blood, with rushing water flowing down the high slope, and countless ghouls roaring and roaring. In the sky, there are also endless crow ghouls flying over, appearing in the distance along with the vortex of the void, and the void worms landed on the ground, making creaking sounds, and crunching and eating everything in the cemetery continent. They have a protective carapace of the void on their bodies, which is difficult to destroy. This time, it seemed that the world suddenly faded a certain color and was swallowed by endless darkness, only seeing the ghouls burning with black flames moving forward crazily under the light of the blood moon. It was a humanoid monster more than 30 meters high, with a huge figure, and dense metal barbs on its hands, like hair made of metal machinery. There are 2 sharp horns on his head, his skin is black, his eyes are blood red, and he holds a 2-handed giant axe in his hand. He is striding forward, and every step he takes will cause the earth to shake. It's finally here. As long as we survive the last wave of ghouls, we will be considered as having completed the task of guarding. Then within the next year, there will be no more waves of ghouls. Lin Yu breathed a sigh of relief, standing at the command post at the head like a castle watchtower, watching all this. Mountain and sea giant elephant, prepare to charge. The giant elephant let out a huge roar. In front of it, even the tide of ghouls seemed relatively small. There is nothing more reassuring than Lin Yu's territory. In addition to strengthening the Vault Hunters, under Wang Dong's teaching, all 60 Vault Hunters have learned to use long-distance heat weapons to infuse spiritual power. It has grown to 3,700 meters, and the body of 11,000 meters directly rushed into countless ghouls, stomping heavily, and stepped out a large area of death. The terrifying coercion like a wave rippled away, and the circular impact overturned all the remaining ghouls. On the giant elephant's head, Linglong gracefully stood in the wind, calmly looking at the ghoul leader holding a huge axe in the distance. His face was full of indifference. Get ready to attack, Linglong, and kill that rank 5 roaring Steppenwolf. Yes, whoosh. The long legs flickered, black fog emerged from Linglong's body, and there were thunderstorms all over her body, and even flame waves gathered in her left hand, turning into an incomparably thick flame jade, which could explode with extremely powerful power at any time. Boom! She turned into a shooting star burning with black flames and smashed straight towards the tide of ghouls. On the tens of thousands of meters wide battlefield, countless explosions sounded one after another, and the battle suddenly became tragic. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.